After almost a week of cancellations, rainy, and cloudy weather, we are finally back for some Anchorage Bucs baseball. It's been 6 days exactly since we last played against the Glacier Pilots, and here we are once again, although, as far as we know, we're still waiting for the Mayor's Cup games to be made up. This is just an exhibition, or it still counts, but it is not a Mayor's Cup game, just a regular season game. Jake Sloan alongside Ren Grimsley, and Ren, it's been a long time. Almost every day we've had the hopes of a game only for it to be canceled, but we're finally back.
Yeah, we had a 4-day break earlier in the year that we thought was going to be our longest break, but it actually turned out to be 6, and this, I would say, was actually worse and maybe even less restful for the players because it was constantly getting ready, getting your mindset ready that day to play a baseball game, and then it getting canceled on you. And even yesterday, where we were already at the Miners Stadium, which is about an hour away, so we had gotten on the bus, gotten there, and then the sky just bottomed out on us a little bit towards the end there as we were getting closer to game time, and then had to go home. And things were clear here in Anchorage as they were playing a baseball game here, but not quite enough over in Palmer.
Yeah, we are finally here. It was the Pilots and Oilers who were here yesterday. The Pilots came away victorious, and they're currently on a 3-game winning streak, sweeping the Oilers in a 3-game series, who the Oilers went from second all the way down to 4th in the league. With all of these canceled games and seemingly not enough time to make them up, it seems like the top 2 teams will come down to winning percentage, as the Oilers at a .515 percentage are below the Bucs, the Chinooks, and the Miners. The Miners atop at 15-10, an even .600 winning percentage. The Chinooks in second with a .556, and the Bucs just half a game behind at .538.
Yeah, and the Oilers have actually played 33 games this season compared to just 26 for the Bucs. So they've played several more games, and they have one more game today against the Miners. But after getting swept yesterday against the Pilots, they are eliminated from postseason contention. So after today, their season's done.
Unless somehow every other team beats each other if the Pilots go on some insane run, but it's all but likely that the Oilers will not be playing for the championship this year. It's honestly, we don't know who's going to be playing for the championship. We don't know how many games we're going to make up if we're going to even reach the 30-game mark. But for now, our schedule reads a game today, 2 games tomorrow, a doubleheader against the Miners to make up for yesterday's cancellation, 2 games on the road against the Chinooks, and then ending out the regular season back in Palmer, Alaska to face the Miners one last time. We will see if this is the last time these 2 teams face off. There were talks about on Sunday the Bucs have an off day. Not sure what the Pilot schedule looks like, but there could be a potential to play a doubleheader then. But until then, we are in seemingly the regular season finale between these 2 teams as we'll get starting lineups underway.
Starting with the visiting team, as the Bucs are at home today, it's Henry Verhamy leading things off for the Glacier Pilots, followed by Zach Hefner, the second baseman. Cooper Kunis, the center fielder, batting third. Batting in the cleanup is Jake Haruki in left field. Fifth, Nick Cortinas, the catcher. Batting sixth, Logan Strong at first base. Batting 7th, Davis Weeks, the designated hitter. Batting 8th, Ryan Dodson, the third baseman. And in the 9-hole, Jack Karen, the right fielder. And on the mound for the Glacier Pilots is going to be Gunnar Mountcastle.
And with the Pilots just continuing to lose players, happened the last two teams faced off during their doubleheader last Saturday where they had bullpen guys try to pitch as much as they could. Mountcastle, the next up on that list. We'll see how long he's able to go. But we'll step aside for the anthem and come back with the Bucs lineup.
Last minute change in the lineup for Anchorage Bucs. Andrew Sheffield will be playing third base. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your head cover as we honor America and those who have fought for our country, are fighting for our country, and will fight for this great country. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska night. So we want to thank those folks. Let's give them a big round of applause and thank to them for their continued support of Anchorage Bucs baseball.
Just moments away from first pitch, and we'll get things started with the Bucs lineup before first pitch.
Leading off for the Anchorage Bucs today is going to be Miles Keogh in center field. Batting second, Finn Leach, the second baseman. Batting third, Hank Smith at first base. Batting cleanup, Ty Denton, who's behind the plate at catcher today. Batting fifth, Ryan Dara in right field. Sixth, Taylor Tracy at DH. Batting seventh, Luke McLeod in left field. Eighth, Hayden Miller, the third baseman. And batting ninth, Camden Lanfear, who will be at shortstop. And on the mound, it's going to be John Carlson.
And right before the anthem started playing, we heard that Andrew Sheffield is now starting over at third. So it was Miller, and then a last-minute change put Sheffield over at the hot corner. Miller had a home run and a single his last time playing on that Saturday during the doubleheader, so arguably his best game of the year. But Kirk Schreider will choose to go with Sheffield, who is, I guess, been one of the more consistent hitters in terms of third baseman on this team. And I guess an embarrassment of riches when you have to decide against a guy who just hit a homer and a guy who has two.
Yeah, homers have been hard to come by this season, especially with the wood bats that these players are rocking this summer. They're used to their aluminum bats during the college season, but playing a more traditional and professional style with the wood bats. John Carlson comes into today's game with a 2.28 ERA. He has 27 2/3 innings pitched, a 1.34 whip, and has 9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Is probably, I would say, the ace of this pitching staff for the Bucs. He's been the most consistent. You can usually lean on him to go at least 3 or 4 innings and limit teams to just a couple of runs, if any at all. So at this point in the season, the Bucs are not sure how many games they'll have left. They don't want to risk anything, and they'll go with Carlson on the mound. His first offering to Verhamy is an off-speed pitch that gets in there for strike one.
Yeah, Carlson has been pretty much the primary starter, like you said, but his last appearance, he came in for relief on July 15th, pitched an inning.
That one gets under the glove of Sheffield, just kind of looked at his glove, thought he had it. But the first base runner comes off of an error. So the last minute change at third base. Andrew Sheffield not able to record the first out of today's game. Now that'll bring up Zach Kiefner, the second baseman, batting in the 2-hole with a runner on and nobody out.
Yeah, not sure when they made the change to Sheffield. On our original lineup, it had Miller in there, so not sure how much of a warm-up and preparation Sheffield was given before being put out there at third.
I'll have to shake it off quickly, though, is Bucs still looking for their first out of this game after the leadoff man Verhamy reached safely. 0-1 is swung on and missed for strike two. Carlson has delivered nothing but strikes so far to the first two batters. Kiefner went 0 for 2 and got hit by a pitch in that second game of the doubleheader where there were 2 7-inning games. Might have gotten a fourth plate appearance if we went a full 9, but we will never know as Carlson throws over to first base to make sure Verhamy doesn't get too big of a lead. Here comes the 0-2, swung in and missed for strike 3. 3 straight pitches to Kiefner, 2 of them he swung and missed on for the first strikeout.
That's a really excellent way to respond. He got the good contact from Verhamy. Unfortunately, an error got him over to first base, but he is staying strong, hasn't pitched in quite some time. It's been 9 days now, but he is back out there looking very fresh.
So now 1 gone as Cooper Kunis steps up and takes strike 1. 6 pitches from Carlson. All of them have been strikes so far. Kunis batting in the 3-hole. He drew a walk and reached safely on a fielder's choice in the second game of the doubleheader on Saturday. His first game, he went 1 for 3 as he chops that one over towards first base. The throw to second is in time, but they will not get the double play. Hank Smith doing a good job to get out the lead runner there for out number 2.
Carlson's definitely not benefited from the fact that he's been on 9 days rest, as he kept getting told that he was going to start each day and then the game would just keep getting canceled day after day. So he wasn't able to throw a bullpen either because he kept thinking that he was going to be out there the next day.
First offering to Jake Haruki is fouled straight back and out of play for strike 1. Went into the parking lot behind us where a car was beginning to pull out. Luckily, it wasn't close enough to hit it, but sure the driver Driver wasn't expecting a baseball to greet him as soon as they pulled out. 0-1 goes to 0-2 after that breaking ball dropped out of the zone. Carlson, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, looking for number 10 to keep a clean inning. Checks on Cooper Kunis over at first, who has several stolen bases this year. With a lot of Pilots players leaving, he's been very consistent for them in a time where they need it most. 0-2 just misses outside for the first ball of the game. Haruki was another late addition to this Pilots team. He's finished up his freshman year at Orange Coast College, only played in 4 games. Started for them at catcher, but he's in left field for the Pilots. Runner goes on the 1-2, check swing held up in time. The throw over is almost in time, but Finn Leach was not able to hold on to the ball, so the runner will be safe. Count moves to 2-2, and Kunis moves into scoring position with the stolen base.
It was a good pitch to go on for Kunis, whether he knew it or not, because it was one of the only off-speed pitches that Carlson has thrown today, and gave him just enough time that Denton and Leach both had to sort of rush the play a little bit, and pops out of the glove of Leach and a safe steal for Kunis.
Haruki now with a 2-2 count and a runner in scoring position. Fastball just misses outside, and the count has run full. After being just a strike away from stranding a runner on first, Carlson now a ball away from putting 2 runners on. Here comes the payoff pitch from him. Fouled right back and next to us. Keep the count full.
And after about a week and a half of rainy, cold days, I would say that today's actually pretty hot. One of the first times I would describe the temperature here as genuinely hot.
Yeah, it's very sunny today, just a couple of small clouds scattered around the blue sky. Very different than what we've seen the last 10 days as the high fastball is swung on and missed for strike 3. Haruki is the second Pilot to go down swinging, and Carlson is able to strand Kunis on second. It'll be Ryan Mountcastle, on the mound when we come back.
Here at Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska Night, we would like to take a moment and remember a long-time ardent Anchorage Bucs supporter, Miss Annabelle Stevens. Miss Stevens passed away on June 10th. Tomorrow will be Annabelle's 97th birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and the Anchorage Bucs in celebrating the amazing life of our friend, Annabelle Stevens. Ladies and gentlemen, also take a moment. They have a table over set up to pay respects and all kinds of pins. So stop by and check them out and say thank you for Annabelle's many years of support for our Anchorage Bucs. gentlemen, now batting for our Anchorage Bucs from legendary Prep. And heading to South Carolina, center fielder #1, Miles Keo.
Now it's Gunnar Mountcastle on the mound, making his 10th appearance, though all previous 9 have come out of the bullpen in relief. So he's making his first start of the year. And his first at-bat will be against Miles Keo as he finds the outer part of the zone for strike 1.
Mountcastle comes in today with a 6 ERA in 18 innings pitched, has a 1.61 whip, and 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. So pretty similar stats to John Carlson, other than significantly fewer innings pitched and about 3.5 ERA higher.
His last appearance, he threw 2 scoreless innings against the Bucs last Saturday. So he's on 6 days of rest. The Pilots are hoping to stretch out his outing as long as they can. His longest one of the season so far, he went 3 innings against the Oilers, where he gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. So he has a 2-1 count to the leadoff man, Miles Keo. Swings and fouls one back to even the count up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, I have a feeling that apartment complex behind us is very used to finding baseballs in their front yard. So that seems to have been a common theme all season.
Wonder if there's ever been one to actually come up and hit one of those windows. We've definitely had a few close calls, but either way, a 2-2 count to the leadoff man, Keo, and he fouls one back and away again to keep the count at 2-2.
Keo has been very hot as of late. His last appearance against the Pilots had a single and a double and a walk in the 7th inning. Struck out his only other plate appearance that game.
He's run the count full. He was originally committed to Coastal Carolina, and then during the summer flipped it to South Carolina. So staying in the same state, just moving from the Sun Belt Conference to the SEC. Has a full count as the leadoff man. Here comes the payoff pitch from Mountcastle. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Keo goes down swinging to start things off in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs from Arizona State University, second baseman.
So now Finn Leach will come up. He's the second baseman today. Him and Keo have been in the 1 and 2 spots for the last handful of games after it was Camden Lantry and Andrew Raymond for much of the season. First offering to him is low and inside for ball 1.
Leach was able to send his first ball over the wall back in game 2 against the Pilots in that doubleheader where he hit a home run just 2 at-bats after Hayden Miller put one over the wall as well. That was part of a late Bucs push that was not able to be successful in game 1 of the Mayor's Cup.
It was also the only time this season that the Bucs have hit multiple home runs in the same inning. Brought their total number on the season up to 7, which is the second most behind the Oilers, who have run away with it at 15 homers. 1-1 to Leach is a fastball low and away for ball 2. Bucs trying to break the scoreless tie with their first appearance at the plate. Finn Leach up there with a 2-1 count and 1 gone after Keo went down swinging to start things off. Takes another fastball down low, and the count moves to 3 balls and only 1 strike. Leach has drawn 14 walks this season. A pitch away from number 15. It won't be on that pitch, though, as he fouls it away for strike 2, and that'll run the count full.
Leach must have seen something he liked on the pitch. A little odd to swing on 3-1, especially with how many fastballs have been outside from Mountcastle.
Another payoff pitch from Mountcastle. This one, though, is outside for ball 4. Leach able to lay off of it and draw a 1-out walk for the first base runner of the evening for the Anchorage Bucs.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs. First baseman from Clinton Roman, Missouri, number 6, Hank
Now up
Smith.
to the plate is the first baseman, Hank Smith, who has made a living in that 3 spot. Now has a runner on and 1 gone. Take strike 1 on the outer part of the plate for a 0-1 count. Smith batting .312 on the season, among the top ranks in the ABL. Also has 10 RBIs off 24 hits. We'll check on Leach over there to make sure he doesn't get too big of a lead.
Yeah, Smith was sitting around the 3 or 4 mark in terms of the top batting averages in the ABL, but has since fallen outside the top 5. Had a tough time at the plate his last time out. In the 2 games that they played against the Pilots, he only recorded 1 hit. It was an RBI single. That was in the 7th inning where the Bucs were able to put up 3 to win that game 4-1.
Now stands in with a 1-1 count, a runner on and 1 gone. Takes a fastball inside for ball 2. Big thing for the Pilots today is how much they can get out of Mountcastle before they feel that they have to look to their bullpen. They would hope it's later rather than sooner. Smith fouls that one back to even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
The Pilots are also coming off a doubleheader yesterday against the Oilers. Perhaps a little bit of an advantage for the Bucs there as they are well rested.
Runner goes on the 2-2. That's hit well into right field. But Jack Karen is back on it. He's going to try to throw over to first and double up Leach, which he does. The Bucs try to implement a hit and run. Leach didn't realize it was a fly out in time and had to head back to first. But Jack Karen threw him out before he could get back, and it's a double play to end the first inning. We're still tied up at 0-0 when we come back.
And pick up your chance to win some great prizes this evening. That red ticket could bring you some great food. All kinds of great sponsors for that. So don't forget to swing by at the Pirates Syndicate and pick up that red ticket to win. The Bucs Beer Garden is open if you want a great lineup filled with beers, seltzers, and wines. Also, don't forget to swing by the concession stand serving up top of the line Boar's Head Coffee. Thanks for coming out and enjoying some Anchorage Bucs baseball. Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, catcher number 24, Nick Martinez.
Nick Cortinas will lead things off for the Glacier Pilots after both teams got a base runner without recording a hit in the first inning. Neither were able to bring one across the plate. Carlson back on the mound after 14 pitches. His 15th is lifted into shallow right field and is going to get down for a base hit. A bloop single into right field Gives Cortinas the first hit of the game, and he's aboard with nobody out.
For the Glacier Pilots, first baseman number 20, Logan Strong.
So the first pitch of the second inning is the first hit of the game for either team. And that'll bring up Logan Strong, the first baseman, with for the second time in a row, run around with nobody out. Fastball from Carlson is in the dirt, but Denton's able to pick it up and make sure that Cortina stays over at first.
And Cortinas has been a problem for the Bucs.
Now Strong lifts one into left field. That's going to get down. It's bobbled in the left field by Luke McLeod, and that gives Cortinas enough time to advance to third base, and there's runners at the corners, still with nobody out.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, designated hitter number 6, Davis.
It also allows Logan Strong to get over to second base. So a double and a single. Put runners at second and third with nobody out. Now Davis Weeks with a chance to bring in a runner, maybe two, to break the scoreless tie, but first he'll take strike one on the inner part of the plate.
And the Pilots have the worst record in the ABL, but they have been able to put together strings of runs at a time. It's hurt the Bucs several times. They put up 3 in the first inning of Game 2 6 days ago, the last time these two teams faced off.
Despite having the worst record in the league by a pretty wide margin, the Bucs and the Pilots have been going back and forth. Pilots trying to strike first, as Weeks is ahead in the count with 2 balls and a strike. Two on to Weeks, swing and a miss for strike 2. Carlson trying to get a big first out.
Carlson was able to get out of a similar jam his last appearance against the Chinooks, only giving up 1 run, but it will be tough to get these 3 outs with 2 runners in scoring position. Needs the strikeout here.
2-2 is hit foul and out of play. Weeks just a hair behind on that one to stay alive.
Foul ball brought to you by Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
2-2 count to Weeks, who is batting 7th today. Pilots got their first 2 hits in the previous 2 batters to put runners on second and third. 2-2 fastball right down Main Street for strike 3, and Weeks goes down looking for out number 1.
It's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Carlson. Not sure what Weeks was really expecting as the designated hitter, but he only bats a 130 average. Does have a 310 on base percentage, but a very low 174 slugging.
So now Ryan Dodson up to the plate. Same situation with 2 on, but now 1 out. After Weeks went down looking, he'll foul the first one back and out of play for strike 1.
The double play is obviously a lot tougher since you don't have a chance to make the play at second and then throw over to first. But we've already seen today that double plays can come in some unorthodox ways. Would be great for the Bucs to get one on their side as well.
Fastball runs outside for ball 1. 1-1 count with 1 gone and 2 runners on for Ryan Dodson, who is batting .205 on the year. Has 5 RBIs. He chops one over towards third base. Sheffield picks it cleanly, but he doesn't make the play at home. Instead, throws over to first for out number 2. So Cortina scores on the grounder, and Logan Strong moves to third base as the Pilots lead 1-0.
For the Pilots, Right fielder number 25, Ted Turner.
And it probably would have been a tough play at home. Would have had to underhand toss it likely to Denton to get the tag, as Cortinas was already about 2/3 of the way there by the time it got into the glove of Andrew Sheffield.
Definitely had a possibility to try to make the play at home, but didn't want to risk not getting the shore out, so he takes that over at first. That'll bring up Jack Karen, the right fielder, who helped make that double play to end the bottom of the first, and now he takes 2 balls to start off his first at-bat of the game. Carlson just 1 out away from getting out of this inning with just the single run given up. Check swing that Karen went around on is strike 1 as he couldn't lay off the breaking ball. Carlson with a 2-1 count and 2 gone. Karen trying to extend the inning and possibly double the Pilots' lead. That pitch low and away for ball 3. Carlson trying to avoid putting runners at the corners.
Carlson started his outing by just absolutely throwing everything down the middle and seemed to be getting a lot of misses as he gets another one there on that fastball, which has a lot of zip on it today. Obviously, as we mentioned, very well rested, hasn't pitched since the 15th. He's definitely getting up there in velocity.
So now a full count to Karen, Payoff pitch down low for ball 4. Carlson not able to get out of the inning just yet as he puts another runner on. Still with 2 outs, and the lineup goes back to the top of the order with Henry Verhamy. Verhamy reached base safely after an error from Sheffield at third. Now his runners at the corners trying to add to the Pilots' lead. Swings of the first offering over towards third. It's fielded by Sheffield. His throw is high, and the ball gets knocked out of Hank Smith's glove. So 1 run will score. Karen advances to third. And the play over at first, Smith had to try to lay the tag on Verhamy, but the ball popped out. Runners remain at the corners as the Pilots lead 2-0.
And now Kirk Schreider going to ask about if there was any interference. He'll go ahead and be content with that after a very short discussion. It was a tough play for Sheffield as he had to throw it all the way across and kind of had a bad angle as he was coming down into the grass-looking part of the infield. It's been a tough day of fielding for the Bucs so far.
So both times Verhamy has reached safely because of an error. That one scoring a run. Zach Kiefner swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Strong came around to score on the play. Runner goes on the 0-1. Denton will not throw, as he didn't want Karen to try to steal home when he threw to second. Nonetheless, it's strike 2, but now 2 runners in scoring position. Here comes the 0-2, just a bit high for ball 1.
And it's smart from Denton to even still try to fake the throw over to second, as you might trick Karen at third and have him take a few steps down. Didn't work that time, but got to figure eventually one of those is going to work.
Now a 1-2 count. Fastball just misses outside for 2 balls and 2 strikes. I feel like in those scenarios, it may not be a bad idea to have a set play of throwing to the shortstop or second baseman, but just having them throw right back to home plate, trying to catch the runner in a pickle or just get the throw ahead of them. But now 3 straight balls from Carlson once again. Runs the count full. In danger of loading the bases. Here comes the payoff pitch. Called ball 4. And the bases are juiced. With 2 outs, Pilots already tacking on a pair of runs this inning.
Now batting for the Pilots, center fielder number 14, Cooper Kunis.
Carlson has 16 walks to 30 strikeouts so far. Has 2 walks today and 3 strikeouts, so a little bit higher on the strikeout end.
Starts off a second at-bat to Cooper Kunis by pounding the zone for strike 1. Kunis reached on a fielder's choice, has the bases loaded with 2 gone. Another off-speed pitch that finds the lower part of the zone. Carlson once again ahead in the count 0-2. Can he finally get out of this jam? That one foul-tipped just enough to stay out of the glove of Ty Denton. And Kunis is able to stay alive in the at-bat.
Contractors of Alaska.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Bases loaded for Cooper Kunis. Fastball high and outside. Kunis able to lay off of it for ball 1. Other pitch that winds up upstairs. The count is run even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Kunis, one of the brighter spots on this Glacier Pilots team that has not been the best offensively, currently with a .303 average and .442 on-base percentage. He is one of the last guys that the Bucs would want up at the plate with the bases loaded like this.
And once again, despite being ahead in the count 0-2, Carlson has run the count full. Nowhere to put Kunis. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ball 4. And Carlson walks home a run. The Pilots now lead 3-0.
The second straight game against the Bucs where the Pilots have put up 3 in one of the first innings. As pitching coach Aaron Puffer will come out to talk to Carlson. No one warming up in the Bucs bullpen right now. Would love to get as many innings from Carlson as possible, as they do have a doubleheader tomorrow against the Miners.
Carlson is gone at least 3 innings in virtually all of his starts. Aaron Puffer likely not thinking he had to come out this early. Trying to calm down his starter. Bucs have added a couple of arms. Ty Baker, who threw 1 inning before one of those rain delays, is chomping at the bit to finally get some time to show what he can do on the mound. Carl Colavecchio has left the team, and in his spot, Eli Lipinski, another Anchorage native. So some options in the bullpen as well as the regulars. Kirk Schreider hoping he doesn't have to use them just yet, as Jake Haruki steps in, the only man who has not come up to bat this inning. Swings and misses for strike 1.
Lipinski played on the Bucs last season, so he is very used to playing here at Mulcahy Stadium and wearing the black and gold.
Haruki struck out swinging his first time up and has caught nothing but air on the first 2 pitches, down in the count 0-2. Carlson has been ahead in the count with no balls and 2 strikes and 3 straight batters. The last 2 he walked with 4 straight balls after. The 0-2 to Haruki is upstairs for ball 1. 1-2, called strike 3 on the lower part of the plate. Haruki goes down looking, and Carlson's able to strand the bases loaded, but not before giving up 3 in the top half of the second. It's the deficit the Bucs will face, getting their second chance in the batter's box when we come back.
I want to say a big thank you to Ports Head, Alaska, Alaska Provisional, Alaska Club, Alaska Spring and Performance, Film Corp of Alaska, and Subway of Alaska for their continued support of our Anchorage Bucs. Also, folks, we got that first winning ticket. So get out that red ticket. You're bringing home a little Caesar's token. Here we go. At number 066741. You're bringing home some Little Caesar. Don't forget to swing by the Pirates Den and pick up your red ticket and your chance to win some great prizes. We have at least 2 more drawings this evening, so listen in for those drawings. Also, while you're up and about, check out the Bucs Beer Garden, lineup of beer, seltzers, and wines, as well as the concession stand serving up all kinds of culinary delights and that top-of-the-line Boar's Head products. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for our Anchorage Bucs. Catcher from Tennessee Tech University, number 15, Tyler Denton.
Ty Denton will lead things off in the bottom of the second with the Bucs down 3-0. Mountcastle back on the mound after throwing 18 pitches in the first inning, with each batter seeing at the very least 5 pitches per at-bat. His first offering bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. Then comes into the game batting .354. One of the top marks in the league, trying to continue that here.
He does still lead the ABL in batting average, sitting pretty comfortably ahead of second place is Phoenix West, batting .338. So about 16 points between the two players.
Faces a 3-0 count. A walk wouldn't do anything to his average, just keep it the same way it is. It certainly raises on-base percentage, which is already sitting in the 400s. .3-0 to Denton is ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man to start things in the second inning.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs.
It's a great way to get things going after giving up a 3 spot in the top of the inning. Ty Denton able to be patient, not swinging a single pitch, and just let them fall outside the zone and take first base.
So now Ryan Dara up to the plate, batting .315. Takes a fastball on the outer part of the plate for strike one. Played in the second game with a doubleheader, went 1 for 3 with a single. Made his way all the way to third base, but was stranded there. As Mountcastle throws over towards first, and Ty Denton back there in plenty of time. Roll one to Dar, misses down low. The count runs even on a ball and a strike, still with nobody out. And the leadoff man, Ty Denton, on first after drawing a 4-pitch walk. One to him is foul tipped right into Cortinas, who is now on the ground in a lot of pain. It seemed to have hit him in one of the few spots where he doesn't have any protection on him.
He's in a lot of pain, and I was wondering when the trainer was going to come out there, finally out there to check on him after he rolled around for a second and slapped the ground.
Seems like he took the foul ball right near his midsection. He has the chest plate, has the shin guards, but no protection from about his belly button down to his knees. So anywhere that it hits in between those spots is going to give you definitely a bruise to wake up to in the morning. So the count moves to 1-2 after the foul ball from Dara. Mountcastle looking for the first out at the bottom of the second. One-two is flown out towards center field. Cooper Kunis drifting back on him, makes the catch. And then will retreat back to first base with one gone.
One thing about it being hot that the people at home can't see is that whoever's doing play-by-play is kind of getting eaten alive by the sun. How are you feeling at the moment?
Not bad. It's just my brow hurts a little bit from squinting so much. That's really the only type of discomfort I'm in. I could honestly use a bit of a tan, so this isn't hurting too bad. So it'll be Taylor Tracy, who is DHing today. Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike one. Luke McLeod is in left field. Him and Tracy have been rotating that position almost every game now. Usually when Tracy bats DH, it means he's pitching, but not today. Now facing a 0-1 count with Denton on first and one gone. Bucks trailing 3-0. Hits that one right back up to Mountcastle. He gloves it down, throws over to second in time, excuse me. The throw to first gets away. And Tracy gets over to second, but the tag is in time. A great play by Logan Strong. Gets the throw over to Henry Verhamy, and Tracy didn't have enough reaction time to get over to second. And for the second time today, the Bucks hit into a double play. Both of them very unorthodox one at that, and they remain off of the scoreboard still with no hits, and they trail 3-0 through the first two innings.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska and their sponsorship of tonight's game. This is the Bucs' final home game of the season. A couple more to go to finish up the league. But This will be our final lunch. I want to thank Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska for their continued support of our Anchorage Bucs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Glacier Pilots, catcher number 24, Nick Martinez.
Carlson back on the mound for his third inning of work, trying to erase the nightmare second inning. Is for the second time already today, Nick Cortines will lead things off. He started off that second inning with a single into right field. Swings at the first pitch once again, but this is popped up into shallow center field, and Camden Lanford calls off everybody to make the catch for the first out.
Cortines just really likes swinging at the first pitch and has put both of them into the shallow outfield. That one in a much more manageable position where Camden Lanford was able to get to it, unlike his first hit in the second inning.
So now Logan Strong will step up. He hit that double into left field and came around to score. Swings and misses at the first pitch. He also put the first pitch he saw in play last time. Not as lucky this time around. Now down in the count 0-1 with one gone. Next offering is bounced in the turf for ball number one. Unable to keep that one in front of him, though. The bases are empty, so doesn't matter as much as if there was a base runner. Nonetheless, a ball and a strike to Logan Strong. Fastball finds the outer corner of the plate. Carlson just one strike away from his fifth punch out of the game. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball misses down low. Count runs even once again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Frequent viewers of the Bucs this season will probably notice the change to the score bug on your screen. That was nothing we did. It just kind of did that when we fired it up. I guess the website had an update. I like the font, though.
That one's popped into shallow center field. Miles Keel loses his hat, but makes the catch in time. So 1-2, or excuse me, for that out number 2. Still not a 1-2-3 inning unless Carlson's able to get Davis Weeks out. But nonetheless, a quick 2 outs. And that will bring up the designated hitter Weeks, who went down looking on strikes his first time up.
And it would be nice to go ahead and get 3 quick outs here. Just a little bit of a bounce back inning for Carlson.
That one's popped in. It's in play. Carlson was calling everyone off, but Hank Smith was right behind him, and it landed in his glove instead. So a 1-2-3 inning, a pretty efficient one at that. Just 7 total pitches. The Bucs get a much-needed 1-2-3 inning. They'll be back in the batter's box when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the packaging store, locally owned and operated in Anchorage since 1993. Whether you're moving, shipping, or need custom packaging or trading for valuable items, trust the team with over 30 years of experience. The packaging store, Alaska's packaging, shipping, and moving experts. from Baylor University, number 27, Luke McLeod.
7, 8, and 9 hitters are due up for the Bucs after Mountcastle has faced the minimum just 6 batters through 2 innings. Luke McLeod will lead things off. Check swing didn't go around on the breaking ball down in the turf. Able to lay off of it for ball 1.
The Bucs still looking for their first hit of the game. Luke McLeod's bat has been pretty good at getting rallies going so far this season.
Fouls that one off. He's one of several dual threats on this team. He's appeared in 7 games as a pitcher and a lot more as a hitter. Is coming off of a combined day of 4 for 5. Or excuse me, 3 for 4 as he hit a double, triple, also drew in a walk in game 1 of the doubleheader and then had a single in a walk in game number 2. Is ahead in the count 2-1 here as he fouls another one off to run the count even once again.
And it was that triple in the 7th inning that was really the fire starter that allowed the Bucs to put up 3 and get a victory over the Pilots in game 1. He was the leadoff batter then.
There's a leadoff batter here, but he takes strike 3 right down the middle for the first out of the inning.
Now batting
So far, the leadoff man is either walked or struck out.
for the Anchorage Bucs.
As now Andrew Sheffield, the late substitution right before first pitch,
Number 2,
steps in for his first appearance at the plate. And that cloud that just blocked the sun is saving my brow
That's
so
your
much
best
right
friend?
now. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a relief that is on my eyes right now. I haven't really needed to wear sunglasses at all while I've been in Alaska, but today I've come pretty close to considering it. Sheffield pops one up into the infield. It'll be Ryan Dotson who calls everyone off and makes the catch for out number 2. Sheffield sees just one pitch before popping out to third base, and quickly now there are 2 gone as Camden Landfear will step in, the only batter that has not seen the plate thus far. And right on cue, here comes the sun right back. I got a brief break, so I'll take what I can get.
And it's usually around the midpoint of the game that the sun kind of gets towards the right and out of that spot, but it is certainly can be brutal coming through the glass. And
Luckily, we have a fan in here to help pull things down, so that definitely helps.
the sun never really gets super high here. It always stays kind of in the same spot and just travels along the horizon all day, and then eventually around midnight it sort of gets a little darker.
And then 4 hours later, it's back up.
Yep.
Ready for action. Lanfear takes a 2-0 pitch in the strike zone to move the count to 2 balls and a strike. Looking to be the first base runner of this inning for the Bucs. They've gotten just one both times off of a walk, and then a double play ended any threat. Swings and misses at the 2-1. Move the count to 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Mountcastle trying to put together another 1-2-3 inning, a strike away from doing it. Will not get it there as Lanfear lays off of the pitch, low and inside to run the count full.
The Bucs haven't hit on an actual field pretty much since 6 days ago, as even yesterday when they arrived to Matsu, they were warming up in the batting cages as they were unsure about the condition of the field, didn't want to mess it up.
Payoff pitch is down low for ball 4. Lanfear able to reach base safely with a 2-out walk on a full count.
No batting
That'll give Miles Keogh a chance to keep the inning going with a runner on and 2 gone. Keogh struck out swinging his first time up on a full count. Lanfear goes on the very first pitch. The throw over, not in time. Lanfear got a great jump. It gets into center field, but Lanfear probably made the right decision to hold up as the shortstop Henry Verhamy was very quick to track that ball down. But nonetheless, runner gets into scoring position for the first time today off a Lanfear stolen base. Pitch to Keogh was a ball, so a 1-0 count to him. Going to put a ball in the outfield and score the first run of the game. Lanfear almost gets another free 90 feet, but Cortinas is able to almost jump at his knees and keep the ball from going to the backstop. Mountcastle with a couple of glances back at second before delivering a pitch that is low and in the turf for ball 3. Keogh still yet to have to pick the bat off his shoulders.
When the Bucs have been patient at the plate, it's worked out for them really well. We've seen 3 walks already from Mountcastle today. At least one of those, the one to Ty Denton, was a 4-pitch walk.
Won't have a 4-pitch walk here as he delivers a meatball right down the middle, but with a 3-0 count. Doubt Keogh even thought about picking the bat up off his shoulders. Now has a 3-1 count. Trying to keep this inning alive with the Bucs trailing 3-0. Swings and misses at that one as his bat goes flying towards the Bucs dugout. And that's almost been a daily occurrence at this point. Not sure what's been going on with the Bucs bats.
Wondering if maybe they haven't been replacing the wrapping on the handles or something, and maybe it's getting less sticky and a little looser. But yeah, that we didn't see that at all really in the month of June, and then has been almost every single game. Made sense on some of the games when it was very rainy, but it has not rained all day here in Anchorage.
It's been basically the dry stay in the last, I'd say, 2 weeks. As now we have another full count, already the 4th one of the day for Mountcastle, who's up to 46 pitches through 2 2/3 innings. Here comes the payoff pitch from him. Called strike 3 on the inner part of the plate. And Keogh goes down looking for his second strikeout, that one stranding a runner on. Bucs still looking for their first hit and first run of the game as the Pilots lead 3-0 through the first third of the game.
First responders. So if we can have those folks please stand so that we can recognize you for your contribution not only to our community but also to our great country. Thank you for all that you have done. We appreciate you. And we appreciate your service again to our community and our great country. Thank you. gentlemen, now batting for the Glacier Pilots. Third baseman number 2, Ryan Dodson.
Carlson back out there for the fourth inning after finally getting his first 1-2-3 inning up to 56 pitches. As his first offering to Dodson is a breaking ball down in the turf for ball 1. Dodson hit an RBI ground out to score the first run of the game, the first of 3 that the Pilots would put up in the third inning as the fastball misses down low for ball 2.
And Carlson was able to respond to that really well. 3 up, 3 down, 3 pop outs. If he can stay aggressive as he did in that inning and in the first inning, which he gave up a base runner, but that was on an error, so it was really just that second inning where he couldn't quite find the zone a few times and a few bad pitches ended up in a lead for the Pilots, but has since locked in a little bit.
Had 2 strikeouts, but also 3 walks in that second inning. Was ahead in the count 0-2 on 2 of those walks. Just wasn't able to find the strike zone. He's unable to do that here as Dodson draws a 5-pitch walk to lead things off in the fourth inning.
For the Glacier Pilots, right fielder number 25, Jack Turner.
So the leadoff man reaches aboard safely for the third time in 4 innings. It'll be Jack Karen, who walked and came around to score. He'll take strike 1 on the fastball. Chops that one right back to the pitcher. Carlson throws over to second in time. There won't be a throw to first as Karen was almost already there. And Camden Landfear, the shortstop, didn't want to risk a throwing error advancing the runner into scoring position, so they'll take the one out and get the lead runner. Now with 1 gone and a runner remaining on first base.
Smart from Camden Landfear not to rush that. We've already seen a couple of throwing errors over to first base. One on both sides. Just going ahead and getting that out, keeping them out of scoring position is really all you can ask for after the grounder.
So now it'll be Henry Verhamy, who is 0 for 2, but both times he's reached base safely on an error. The only 2 errors that the Bucs have committed today have been off this man's bat. Carlson able to get the grounder, throw over to second, Landry over to first, and it's a 1-6-3 double play, a much needed one. As the Bucs get out of the inning, putting up another 0 on the scoreboard, but they still trail 3-0 heading into the bottom of the fourth.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of our fine sponsors: Arby's of Alaska, Lowe's O'Brady's, Safe and Sound, Northern Lights Imaging, and Trailer Craft, all proud supporters of our Anchorage Bucs. Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs, second baseman, number 18, Vince Luke.
Bucks still looking for their first hit. They've gone 3 innings, and all their base runners have come by a walk. Finleach was the first one to do that as he takes the ball 1 outside. Swings and misses at the next pitch to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Mountcastle now up to 49 pitches. He's walked 3 batters, but still has not given up a hit. 1-1, an off-speed pitch that just misses the outer part of the plate. Leach able to lay off of it for ball 2.
Yeah, the Bucks barely threw their first time through the order, whereas Verhamy has already batted 3 times for the Pilots. So it has just been a lot of base runners for the Pilots. They obviously batted around in that second inning. The Bucks just still looking for a hit, however they can get it.
Just their 11th plate appearance of the game. Meanwhile, the Pilots are up to 19. Here comes a 2-2 to Leach. Outside and upstairs to run the count full once again. Leach drew his walk on a full count. And now for the 5th time today, Mountcastle is trying to put away on the payoff pitch, which he does there. Another strikeout looking almost the same location that got Keogh. Gets the first out of the inning.
Mountcastle has really been able to find the inside part of that plate on the payoff pitch. It's looked a little bit too inside on both of them for me. Obviously, we are shifted a little bit to the right, so maybe it's just an optical illusion, but something looks a little bit off from my perspective. But I guess if he's consistent, the umpire, then, hard to complain if he's going out there and calling the same thing, strikes and balls.
Yeah, it definitely looks like, from our perspective, a 50-50 ball. Nonetheless, Mountcastle has been on the right side of that coin flip both times. After Hank Smith fouled off the first pitch he saw, Mountcastle bounces one in front of the plate for ball 1. Smith flew out to right field his first time up after Bucks tried to execute a hit and run play in which Finleach proceeded to get doubled up on first base as he lifts one down the left field line, but it'll wind up foul for strike 2. So 1-2 count with 1 gone. Bucks still trailing 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch from Mountcastle is popped into center field. Cooper Kunis right there to make the catch for out number 2. So quickly now, 2 gone. And the bases are empty for Ty Denton, who led off the second inning with a 4-pitch walk. First offering to him is a pitch about chest high, just a little out of the strike zone for ball 1.
The Bucks have also been pretty good at the plate with 2 outs in the middle innings of games. Would love to see one come off the bat of Ty Denton.
If there's anybody who's most likely to do that, it would be him, as he leads the ABL in average, like we said before. He's been a big part of so many of these rallies the Bucks have put together. A lot of them which have come with 2 outs. And the first 7 pitches that Denton has seen today have all been balls. He's ahead in the count once again, 3-0. Next offering for Denton is a fastball right down the middle. He thought about pulling the trigger, but lays off as it's strike one to him.
I was wondering how likely it would be to get 2 4-pitch walks in back-to-back plate appearances.
I know he's a dangerous hitter, but at some point you got to pitch to him. 3-1 is fouled back and out of play, and Mountcastle has found his way right back into this at-bat with a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Denton with 2 gone and nobody on base. Trying to keep this inning going. Here comes the payoff pitch from Mountcastle. It's lifted high into center field, but Kunis is able to come under it and make the catch for out number 3. Back-to-back flyouts end the inning for the Bucs. Still looking for their first hit of the game through 4 innings. They trail 3-0.
Don't forget, folks, pick up those red tickets at the Pirate Stand and you get a chance to win some great prizes. We got a couple more drawings this evening, so listen up for that red ticket number. Also, while you're out and about, check out the great products at the Bucs Beer Garden. Get your line of beer, seltzers, and wines, as well as at the concession stand. You can pick up some top of the line Boar's Head products and all kinds of other things that will take care of that little tip on the tummy. Just got the new red ticket number, so get out that red ticket. I got a winner for you. Oh, Subway certificate coming your way. If your number is 066774. That's right, 066774. You're bringing home some Subway. Well, next Subway for their continued support of our Anchorage Bucs. Now batting for the Pilots, second baseman number 21, Zach Hefner.
Zach Hefner back up for his 3rd plate appearance. He struck out and walked. As Carlson remains on the mound through 4 innings, he's thrown 65 pitches. His first offering to Hefner is a fastball down and inside for ball 1.
No one throwing in the bullpen quite yet, but there are several guys who are standing up, a couple stretching out. Hard to tell right now who they're going to go with. Obviously, after 6 days of rest, have plenty of options.
Pretty much anybody they want would be ready. As Carlson has a 3-0 count to the leadoff man Hefner before finally finding the zone for strike 1. Another fastball right down Main Street that Hefner can't pull the trigger on, and count is run full to the leadoff man. Here comes the payoff pitch. Strike 3 right down the middle. 3 straight fastballs from Carlson get Hefner looking for the first out of the inning.
That was a really excellent way to respond. Down in the count 3-0. And then he just decided that enough was enough and was going to just try to get him right by Hefner, and he does.
So now Cooper Kunis, who has reached base safely both times but still has not recorded a hit, steps in and takes strike 1. In the first inning, he reached safely on a fielder's choice and then stole second base before drawing a walk in the second inning that brought home a run, but was stranded on the base pass both times. Now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count with one gone. Pilots still leading 3-0 in the top of the fifth. Breaking ball from Carlson dips below the zone. Kunis not being fooled by that one, lays off for ball 2. Two one count is hit into straightaway left field where Luke McLeod is and makes the easy catch for out number 2.
Now batting for the Pilots, left fielder number 23, Jake Haruki.
Carlson with back-to-back outs to start the top of the fifth. It's now the cleanup hitter, Jake Haruki. Steps in with a pair of strikeouts, one swinging and one looking. First pitch to him is down low for ball 1.
Now, I find this hard to believe, but according to the website, Haruki has the same average as he does on base percentage.
He has not drawn a walk, so...
or reached on an error or a fielder's choice. It's just...
so he's had his
only getting hits.
Work cut out for him in his first 5 games. This being his 6th with the Pilots, is facing a 2-0 count right now, so we could witness the first time he reaches base safely without a hit, but let's hope not. Carlson able to find the zone for that one.
I guess, yeah, it is possible with only 5 games played, 14 at-bats. If it was, I kind of overlooked that part. If it was, at this point, 20 or more, then that would be really, really hard to believe.
Rookie swings and misses for strike 2. He's already struck out twice today. Carlson looking for his 6th punch out. Half of them have come from Haruki so far. 2-2 from Carlson is a fastball outside for ball 3. Full count with 2 gone and the base is empty. Carlson trying to deliver another 3 up, 3 down frame. He's had 2 in a row so far. Payoff pitch from him is fouled off of Haruki, who stays alive in the count.
Now ball brought to you by Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
Payoff pitch once again is upstairs for ball 4. Haruki draws his first walk of the season. Comes with 2 outs and extends the inning for the Glacier Pilots.
Unfortunate for Carlson, who is likely nearing the end of his outing. He's laid off on the fastball a little bit. He went with it heavy in the first inning, but has since thrown a lot more off speed. And it worked for him the past 2 innings. Hopefully he can continue to stay strong here with 2 outs.
1-0 pitch to Cortinas is a breaking ball that drops in there for strike 1 to even the count up. Rookie over at first, 2 gone. Cortinas up to the plate. 1 for 2 so far with a single and a pop out. Hits that one sharply over towards third. It bounces around the glove of Sheffield, who's finally able to grab it, but the pick attempt from Hank Smith is unsuccessful. The low throw from Sheffield was a hard one for him to make. The 3rd error of the game, all of which have occurred from 3rd to 1st.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots.
And the inning will continue.
First baseman number 20, Logan Strong.
Yeah, after it bounced out of his glove, had to rush the throw. And it being so far A tough scoop for even Hank Smith to make.
It's now a pair of base runners on for Logan Strong, who is doubled and popped out. Came around to score the second run of the game. He takes strike one. A 1 swung on and missed for strike two. Carlson just one strike away from stranding the two runners and getting out of this inning. Still nobody throwing in the Bucs bullpen just yet. Here comes the 0-2 from Carlson. Check swing. Strong to not go around. He's able to lay off of it for ball one. Ball and 2 strikes to Strong. It's hit into right field. Coming around third and going home is going to be the runner Haruki, and he is in there safely. Dara not able to deliver a throw strong enough to get the runner, and the Glacier Pilots tack on a fourth run. Now up 4-0.
Such a big swing this inning. After getting a strikeout looking and then a pop out to left field. Seemed like it might be another scoreless frame for Carlson, who had done pretty well in 3 out of the 4 innings. It was just that second inning that got away from him. And now with some fielding trouble, it has just been a tough day for the Bucs.
Davis Weeks sends the first pitch he sees over to the shortstop Camden Lanfear, who makes the throw to first in time. Bucs able to get out of the inning, but they do give up the lone run as now they face a 4-run deficit heading into the bottom of the 5th.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank the packaging store for their support of our Anchorage Bucs baseball. You know someone who is moving out of state or moving into the state? If so, take advantage of the most economical moving rates in town. The packaging store. Alaska's packaging, shipping, and moving express. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Anchorage Bucs. Right fielder number 8, Ryan Dara.
Ryan Dar will lead things off in the 5th inning. He flew out on the first pitch he saw to center field, but he takes ball one high and outside from Gunnar Mountcastle, who is back up there. He's thrown 4 scoreless innings on 63 pitches, trying to go a 5th.
And these Glacier Pilots relief pitchers who have come in to start have done exceptionally well. It was Cody White who started the first game 6 days ago, and he was able to go 6 and a third innings, and kind of got away from him in the 7th, but I mean, who wouldn't get a little tired in the 7th inning and slow down? But right now, the goal for the Bucs should just be to get Mountcastle out of this game and try to get into that bullpen.
Still looking for their first hit of the game. All right, down in the count 1-2, able to lay off of that pitch that winds up down and away to even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bucs have just 13 at-bats through 4 innings. They've been cut down in order almost every single time as Dara swings and misses for strike 3. Through the first 4 innings, they only had 3 batters up to the plate. And in the 3rd inning, they had just 4 because Lanfear drew a 2-out walk. Now it'll be Taylor Tracy up to the plate, who reached on an error his first time up, but was quickly thrown out at second, trying to get an extra free 90 feet. Fouls the first pitch he sees over towards the Bucs dugout for strike 1.
And it's hard to blame him for trying to take second base on that play, as usually those throws that get past the first baseman are pretty easy money for the runners to get to second base. But he saw it a little late. He had run past first base by several steps and then noticed that the throw had gone wild.
Swings and misses at that pitch for strike 2. Now down to the count 0-2 with 1 gone and nobody aboard. Pops that one into shallow right field, and it's going to be caught by Jack Karen, who quickly realized that the ball was dropping and made the heads-up play to make the catch for the second out of the 5th inning. Bucs very close to getting their first hit of the game, but they are still searching as Luke McLeod steps up.
And it looks like Ty Baker is warming up in the Bucs bullpen. I saw 22, and I was like, who is number 22? I just couldn't think of it, but it's one of the new guys.
Used to be Carson Umphris, but he left the team early to go back to Kansas, where he is currently in a Summer Ball World Series. Bucs trying to also reach the championship series in the ABL, but we'll have to mount together a couple wins for that to happen. Right now in this game, they're still looking for their first hit. Cloud lays off of a couple pitches out of the zone for a 2-1 hitters count. Went down looking his first time up. Fastball winds up outside for ball 3. Cloud trying to become just the 4th base runner of this game for the Bucs. Three one misses outside, and Cloud able to draw the 2-out walk and extend the inning for Andrew Sheffield, the 3rd baseman.
The Pilots were able to get a run in the top of the 5th inning with nobody on and 2 outs. No reason why the Bucs can't do the same. Hopefully even more here in the bottom.
They've had their fair share of 2-out rallies. Sheffield takes strike 1 on the outer part of the plate. Mountcastle already up to 77 pitches, but showing no signs of slowing down. His fastball still looking like it has some zip on it. Sheffield sends one into shallow left center. It's going to get down for the first base hit of the game for the Bucs. And that will put runners at first and second with 2 gone. You're hoping that'll take the lid off the basket.
Now batting for Anchorage Bucs.
Yeah, now the Bucs can breathe a little bit,
Tempton.
knowing that they've finally gotten a hit and don't have to keep stressing about that, as that will warrant a mound visit. Might be the end.
And it took nearly 5 full innings for them to get it, but they finally did through 4 2/3. Doesn't look like it'll be it just yet for Mountcastle. It's the Pilots pitching coach and not their head coach. Usually be the head coach to come out onto the mound. That signifies the pitching change, but Mountcastle just getting some words of encouragement from his teammates in the infield as well as his pitching coach. And Camden Landfear, who until McLeod just reached second was the only Buck to be in scoring position, steps up to the plate.
And Mountcastle's longest outing this season up to this point had been just 3 innings. So we have already reached uncharted territory after that 3rd inning. But got to figure that his arm is starting to get a little bit tired. Not sure if he's a starter in college or if he was in high school, but regardless, it's been a long time since he's gone this long.
His 80th pitch is swung on and missed by Landfear to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Landfear has struck out 35 times this season, leads the team, and it might lead the ABL. Nonetheless, he faces a 1-1 count with 2 runners on. Swings and misses at another pitch for strike 2.
That slider had a lot of movement at the very end. On the tail end of the pitch, just came way inside on Landfear, who'd already committed to the swing.
1-2 pitches popped into shallow right field, going into foul territory. It is caught by Logan Strong. For out number 3, the Bucs get their first hit, but it's not enough to push a run across home plate as they remain scoreless through 5 innings, down 4-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of our fine sponsors, Little Caesars, Alaska Highway Safety Office, Mobile Credit Union, and State Farm. All proud supporters of our Anchorage Bucs. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we've got at least one more red ticket drive, so pick up yours at the Pirates Den. Also, while you're out and about, check out the Bucs Beer Garden and lineup of great beer, seltzers, and wines. And check out that concession stand as well, serving up all kinds of culinary delights and taking care of that little tip on the tummy with the line Boar's Head products.
Yeah, Ty Baker.
New pitch on the mound for our Anchorage Bucs. From Rice University, number 22, Ty Baker.
After Carlson threw 5 innings, it'll be Ty Baker on the mound. Carlson's final stat line is 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned off of 3 hits, and he did not hit anybody. That'll bring up Ty Baker, whose debut 10 days ago was cut short after he threw just 1 inning. As his first pitch is fastball that's fouled off by Ryan Dodson.
Yeah, it was a tough way to start, but he said afterwards that he was lucky he at least got to go out there and throw a little bit, and that it would have been worse had he done his whole pregame routine and warm up, and then it get cut short before he was even able to take the mound at all.
He spent his first 2 years of college ball at Texas A&M, one of those he redshirted before transferring to Rice this past year, where he appeared in 9 games with a 3.57 ERA through 17 2/3 innings. As Dodson fouls another one away, he was an all-star 2 years ago in the California Collegiate League. Came to Anchorage about 2 weeks ago. Now hoping he gets to throw multiple innings for the first time, as the 1-2 is dropped right in there for strike 3, and Dodson goes down looking.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, right fielder number 25, Jack.
4-pitch strikeout, almost the best way you can start off your outing. As now Jack Karen steps up to the plate. He's reached base safely both times off of a walk and a fielder's choice. Check swing, hits one foul over towards the third base, or strike number 1.
And with it being such a beautiful day here, the line for alcohol at Mulcahy Stadium is quite long. Can't honestly blame them. It's not been this sunny in quite some time.
Fastball is low and inside. That one had some juice on it. Wish we had the radar gun up here. It's a couple of pitches from Carlson also look like they were in the 90-mile-an-hour range. 1-1 from Baker is down and away for ball 2. Baker's father was also a 3-year starter at Rice. A Houston, Texas native, he chose to stay in the Lone Star State for all 3 years of college ball, now heading into his 4th. As he faces a 3-1 count to the 9-hole hitter, Karen. Next pitch is inside for ball 4. The first base runner that Baker gives up is off of a 5-pitch walk.
Now batting in for the Glacier Pilots, shortstop number 32, Henry Verheen.
That'll bring the top of the lineup back up for the 4th time today. Henry Verheen steps up to the plate. He's reached base twice off of errors from Andrew Sheffield and then grounded into a double play to end the 4th inning.
Verheen batting .284 this season. Also strikes out a lot with 22 this season, but has a .398 on-base percentage as well. He has been their leadoff hitter for quite some time.
Baker will check over at first base for where Jack Karen will dive back in safely. Home plate umpire will ask Baker to get a new ball. You don't see that very often. Usually it's the pitcher that asks for a new ball, but this time it's the home plate umpire that makes the decision for him.
And I'm looking back at the first game that the Pilots and the Bucs played, and Vaughn Coleman led off.
It's a name I
I
haven't
don't
heard in
recall
a
Vaughn
long
Coleman
time.
whatsoever. I'll be honest, I don't remember him at all.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but the Pilots have gone through a lot of changes throughout this summer, as of the rest of the teams. With a 0-2 count to the leadoff man, Verhamy, he hits it softly over towards first, and Baker will just toss it over to first base and allow Karen to advance to second. So the runner moves into scoring position with 2 gone. That'll bring up Zach Hefner, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a pair of strikeouts. It's Karen at second base. The Pilots up 2-0. Excuse me, 4-0 in the top of the 6th with 2 gone as Hefner takes ball 1 outside.
And there are several guys missing from the Glacier Pilots lineup today. Not sure.
That one's hit right back up the middle. Baker has to dive out of the way. Rounding third and coming home is Karen. And Hefner delivers with an RBI single to push the Pilots' lead to 5 runs.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, center fielder number 14.
So Baker not able to deliver a scoreless frame as he gives up the RBI single to Hefner. His first pitch to Cooper Kunis is fouled back and out of play for strike 1.
So I was saying, not sure what the injury slash leaving Alaska roster looks like for the Glacier Pilots, but they are missing several players that have been in the lineup and contributed a lot. Antonio Gianni and Jake Dahl being just a couple names that are not playing today.
I know for us it's been kind of a combination. Luke Taylor had a wrist injury that was going to keep him out for much of the season. As that one's lifted into left field, it's going to get down for a base hit. McLeod not able to get a good enough jump on it, and the inning stays alive with a single from Cooper Kunis.
Wondering if maybe he lost that in the sun just a little bit. It's possible he just misread it, but it bounced not too far in front of him. I certainly think it was catchable.
So the inning continues with back-to-back singles, and now Jake Haruki up to the plate. Walked and came around to score back in the 5th inning, but has also struck out 2 times as he lays off that fastball that winds up outside for ball 1. Like I was saying, Luke Taylor had the injury to his wrist that led to him leaving. We've had a couple guys leave to find more opportunities to play with Carson Humphris, RJ Carver also leaving, Carl Colavecchio, the newest one to add to that list. As Haruki takes a breaking ball in the zone for strike 1. All in all, I'd say the Bucs have kept all of their core players, which has been huge for them, and it's a big reason why they're in a position to try to make a late push for the championship.
Yeah, certainly other teams have had it much worse, and I'm wondering if maybe with how few wins the Glacier Pilots have this season and the fact that they will certainly not be in the top of the world championship, if maybe a few guys decided to head home a little early because of that.
So 2 on count moves to 3 balls and a strike to Haruki. Baker trying to avoid giving up another run. Three 1 from Baker is popped high into left field. Going back on it is Luke McLeod. He's at the warning track, and the center fielder Miles Keel called him off but could not make the catch. 1 run's going to score. Another one will come over, and it's a 2-run double for Jake Haruki, as it seemed like both of the outfielders just lost it in the sun.
I don't know what happened there, but that was really not A great play.
Glacier Pilots, catcher number 24, Nick Cortines.
It seemed like it was pretty well into left field, but then it just kept breaking to the right. Miles Keough thought he had a play, but just overran it, and it dropped right in front of him.
Obviously, you don't want any collisions. We've seen what that can do, but with how high it was, certainly had plenty of time to get under it. It's just been an absolutely terrible day in the field for the Bucs today.
And 6 days off will certainly do that to you. We saw what happened when they had that 4-day break and they came back and just didn't look in sync. So now Nick Cortines steps up and takes a ball and a strike on the first 2 pitches he sees. So another 3 spot put up here in the 6th inning. Baker trying to avoid it becoming 4. Has had 3 straight hits with 2 outs, which have resulted in all the runs being scored. That fastball is fouled into the netting behind home plate for strike 2.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
One, 2 count is even once again at 2 balls and 2 strikes as the breaking ball wound up in the other batter's box. Ty Dent does a good job to make sure it doesn't get behind him and keeps Haruki at second base. 2-2 count with 2 gone and a man on second to Cortines. That one's hit into right field, but right to Ryan Dara, who makes the catch and finally puts an end to the inning, but the Pilots are well in front, leading 7-0. As it looks like we'll have a new arm on the mound when we come back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a drawing here for you. Let's get this one. This is for the Lucky Wishbone. Red ticket number 0666. 066699. That's the big winner for that Lucky Wishbone drawing. New pitch on the mound for the Glacier Pilots. Number 8, Jake Rafferty. Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs. Number 18, Finn Leach.
New pitcher on the mound after Mount Castle throws 5 scoreless innings. It'll be Jake Rafferty from Tacoma Community College to start things in the 6th inning. As Drew Raymond steps in as a pinch hitter for Miles Keough, who was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Raymond fouls off the first pitch he sees.
And even more impressive for Mount Castle. Obviously gave up no earned runs, no runs at all, but only 1 hit, had 5 strikeouts and 4 walks. And now the season debut for Jake Rafferty on the mound.
His first pitch is fouled away, and then that one is outside for ball 1. That one's hit sharply, and it hits the first base bag and pops over the head of Logan Strong. Raymond slides into second base with a leadoff double, and that could be the spark that the Bucs need. A little bit of luck on his side there as Logan Strong looked like he had it, and then it just hit the bag and popped into right field at a weird angle.
Yeah, hits the bag, bounces over his head, and probably the first break that the Bucs have gotten all day. Like you said, might be the spark that gets this offense going, especially with Finn Leach, who is second in the ABL in runs batted in, currently at 20. But the two guys...
That one comes in and hits Leach square in the back. And so back-to-back base runners for the Bucs to start things here in the 6th inning.
Well, I was going to say the guy he's tied with and the guy ahead of him are both Oilers players, so they are done for the season after today. But I guess he doesn't have a chance to bat the run in anymore.
Said it will be Hank Smith, and Rafferty appeared in 9 games at Tacoma Community College, had a .556 ERA through 43 innings, struck out 30 batters and walked 24. Gave up 28 runs off of 43 hits, also gave up 2 homers. Had a 153 whip, an average 6 strikeouts per 9 innings. There was a ball and a strike to Hank Smith to start things off. Smith is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts, 1 to right field and 1 to straightaway center. Has a chance to plate the first run of the game for the Bucs if he's able to hit one into the outfield. Fastball winds up down and inside for ball 2. Smith now with the hitter's count. Fastball on the 2-1 winds up in the other batter's box, and Cortinas has to lunge out of his stance a little bit to keep that one from going to the backstop.
Rafferty has one of the stranger releases that you'll see. Really winds up, looks very mechanical.
Smith fouls that one down the first baseline, and the count runs full. Yeah, he doesn't have that natural kind of circular motion. It's very... doesn't look like it flows as well as other windups do. It's, like I said, very mechanical, very kind of boxy. Looking for his first out of his outing, his debut for the Pilots. Won't get it on that pitch as that's just barely a hit foul by Smith. It was almost identical to Raymond's hit, but wound up on the wrong side of the foul line. So the count remains full to Hank Smith, who has 2 runners on with nobody out, trying to score the first run of the game for the Bucs. Payoff pitch down low for ball 4. And Rafferty has loaded the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Ty Denton. There's not many other people that the Bucs would want up to the plate in this scenario.
Yeah, a 7-run deficit is very tough to come back from. Not impossible, as the bases loaded, nobody out, still with 4 innings to do so. So, I mean, you have a little under just half the game. While it feels so late in the game and you feel like you're down by so much, a swing of the bat here could make this a ball game.
Ty Denton has a walk and is also flown out to straightaway center field. Swings at the first pitch, sends it into left field. That'll get down for a hit. Coming to score is Raymond. It gets by the left fielder all the way to the wall. Right behind him to score is Leach. Coming around to score also is Hank Smith. And Ty Denton empties the bases with a 3-run triple.
That is exactly what's been happening to the Bucs all game, but Ty Denton giving them a taste of their own medicine. Putting one into the outfield and getting under the glove of the left fielder, Jake Haruki, out towards the wall. The Bucs have almost cut the lead in half now, still with nobody out here in the 6th.
And the Bucs have life all of a sudden as now Dara lifts one into center field. That's going to get down and score Denton. Dara with a 1-run single, and all of a sudden, the Bucs have put up 4 runs in the 6th inning, and they are right back in this thing.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs, designated hitter number 33, Taylor Tracy.
Still with nobody out. And now Taylor Tracy steps up to the plate with Dara on first. Dara goes on the first pitch. It's called a strike, and Dara is in there plenty of time. The stolen base moves the runner into scoring position.
That is Dara's 13th stolen base and puts him now in the lead in the Alaskan Baseball League with 13. He was tied with Shane Cannon of the Oilers and Austin Park of the Miners. Obviously not sure what's gone on in the Miners game today. Park has stolen one, but as of now, Ryan Dara, your leader.
We'll find out tomorrow when these two teams have a doubleheader. Tracy hit that one foul down the third baseline. He's down in the count 0-2. Dara in scoring position. Tracy trying to bring the 5th run of this inning across home plate. Hits one into center field, but it's caught by Kunis. Dara thought about tagging up, but will smartly hold up as the throw was right on target. First out of the inning, and Rafferty really needed that one.
Yeah, it was also a little too shallow for Dara to try to tag up and go, but obviously with his speed, honestly thought he might have been able to make it.
So now one gone, and that one hits McLeod right in the back, and Rafferty is just all over the place right now.
It looked like he hesitated a little bit. His windup was just a little bit off. I don't know if you noticed that as well, but it kind of looked a little funny coming out of his hand, and obviously ended up a little funny in the back of Luke McLeod.
That'll warrant a mound visit, and the Pilots may have to see if Rafferty can get out of this inning, because it doesn't look like they have anybody up throwing just yet. They're going to try to speed up the process as much as they can, but on such short notice, still have to give your pitchers enough time to get fully warm. You don't want them to miss a stretcher or any type of their warm-up that could injure them. Now Andrew Sheffield steps up to the plate. Could tie the game with one swing here. Takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Already the 8th batter of this inning. Only one of which has gotten out, and that was Tracy's fly out to center field. Takes a strike on the inner part of the plate to even the count up. So the Pilots are warming up a right-handed pitcher who is trying his hardest to get ready. Sheffield lifts one into left field. Rookie's able to make the catch. Either runner will advance, and All of a sudden now 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Looked like for a second that one might get down, but Haruki had a great jump on it.
He did, and even if this is the last batter,
Number 20, Hayden Miller.
Which will be Hayden Miller, who is pinch hitting for Camden Landfear. In the 9-hole spot, I'm sure we'll see some adjustments to the defense later in this inning, but for the time being, it's Miller in there who takes ball 1 down low.
and obviously would love to see Miller continue to chop away at this lead, but gotta feel like the Bucs have done some good work in the bottom of the 6th inning. Currently have 4 runs this inning alone.
His last game up 6 days ago, he hit his 2nd homer of the year as well as a single. Takes strike 1 right down the middle to even the count up. 2 on and 2 out for Miller. Ryan Darr at second, Luke McLeod at first. Miller trying to continue this inning that the Bucs have already put up 4 runs in. Hits one high into left field. It's going over to try to make the catch is Haruki. It just winds up foul for strike number 2. Saw Haruki make a similar play in that doubleheader where he almost crashed into the fence making a sliding grab. Almost had another one there.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm pretty sure he basically did crash into the fence. He just did so in a very safe way. Tried to stay safe that one as well, but couldn't quite make the grab.
So now 1-2 count to Hayden Miller. Pitch to Rafferty is down in the turf. Cortinas made a diving stop to keep the ball in front of him, but he couldn't locate it, and that gave Ryan Darr and Luke McLeod plenty of time to steal 2nd and 3rd. So now a 2-2 count to Hayden Miller, who puts another one high and foul, and this one will wind up out of play. So on that last play, I guess it counts as a stolen base. It wasn't a wild pitch or a passed ball or of any sort. Kind of just an odd play that...
Yeah, because Cortinas made the stop. It just got like a couple feet away from him.
That one's fouled back straight away. Takes a high bounce onto the pavement and winds up into the grass. A couple of people making a run for it. It'll be a little girl that is able to track down the ball.
Wonder if it ever hits a car driving by, too, on that road.
I wouldn't be surprised. So 2-2 count once again to Miller. He lines one sharply down the left field line, but will wind up foul. 3 foul balls in a row from Miller, just trying to time up Rafferty's pitches.
And several of them have just been a little bit early. He timed up that one where it just went straight back, but if he could put one down along that third base line, it would certainly score both runs.
Serves as the tying run for the moment at the plate. 2-2 once again, hit right up the middle and into center field. That'll be a base hit. Scoring is Dara. Coming around third to score is McLeod. And a 6th spot in the 6th inning. And the Bucs have completely chipped away at this deficit. Now just 1 run. Two-run double for Miller.
This has by far been the best bounce back that we've seen from the Bucs all season. They've been down a few times, but have never come back like this.
Now for the 2nd time this inning, Drew Raymond steps up to the plate. He started off the 6th with a double. He takes ball 1 up high. Miller over at first, has just 1 stolen base this year, but led the Missouri Valley Conference with 27. Is Raymond swings and misses at that one for strike one. 1-1 count with 2 gone. Miller, the tying run at first. Raymond, the go-ahead run at the plate. Another big swing and miss for strike 2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Rafferty able to get 3 swings and misses from Raymond to finally get out of the inning. But the Bucs respond immediately with 6 runs. Now trailing just 7-6, heading into the 7th. You're listening to the Bucs YouTube channel.
We would like to thank our host families for all they do for these young men coming up here and playing for us. And these are the families that take care of us. Well, let's give them a big round of applause. The families are the Mattingly family, the Cruz family, the Studer family, the Gilgis family, Kieran Norsworthy, Jimmy Williams, and Stephanie Bargoon, and Cruz, Molly McManaman, and Eric Kurzwig, all proud supporters of our Anchorage Bucs and our players. Thank you to those folks for all you do. We appreciate you. Again, let's give them one big round of applause. We appreciate those folks. Also, yeah, I got another number for you. We got a bonus drawing here today, so let's get it out here. This is for one of the finest steaks in the state of Alaska. Club Paris gift card 66733 is the winning number there. 066733. You're bringing home some Club Paris gift certificate. Thanks for playing, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. And thanks for coming out and supporting our Anchorage Bucs.
New pitcher is Cade Burghardt. Burghardt, yeah, 12. Yep.
New pitch on the mound for our Anchorage Bucs. Number 12, from Colorado School of Guns, Cade Burghardt.
Ty Baker lost just the 1 inning where he gave up those 3 runs, and now it'll be up to Cade Burghardt to try to keep the Pilots off of the scoreboard. As Logan Strong will lead things off, he hit an RBI single back in the 5th inning. Burghardt delivers strike 1. Haven't seen him in quite some time, though. With 6 days of no baseball, it's kind of been the same thing for everybody, but especially for Burghardt, who hasn't played in 23 days.
Yeah, it's July 1st against the Peninsula Oilers. He pitched an inning, gave up 3 hits and a run, but that run was unearned.
Has a 7.11 ERA through 6 1/3 innings. Has struck out 8 with a 2.53 whip. As his fastball misses upstairs for ball 3 to the leadoff man, Strong. Strong has doubled and singled, as well as popped out to center field. A ball away from drawing a leadoff walk. 3-1, called strike 2 with the breaking ball. Full count to the leadoff man with Davis Weeks waiting on deck. Payoff pitch from Burghardt is down low for ball 4. Strong reaches base safely for the 3rd time today.
And Burghardt has not been a guy that they've necessarily gone to in high leverage situations where they've needed to keep teams off, but has a chance for a great outing here would likely only go 1 inning.
His first offering in the weeks misses away for ball 1. That'll warrant a mound visit from Ty Denton. Bucks grabbed all the momentum by putting up 6 runs in that bottom of the 6th. Now they're trying to keep it as well as keep the Pilots from scoring. They've done it in the last 2 innings and are in a position to add to that with leadoff man Logan Strong drawing a walk. Wano is up high for ball 2. Burkhart struggling to find the strike zone right now. Another offering that this one gets in the zone for. Now a 2-1 count to Weeks, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, pop out, and ground out. Another pitch misses down low, another 3-1 count. Burkhart trying to avoid putting the first 2 runners on.
Yeah, especially Davis Weeks, who, like you just mentioned, 0 for 3. And is their designated hitter.
Lifts one fouling out of play to run the count full.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
So another payoff pitch. This one will come to Davis Weeks with a runner on. Up high for ball 4, and both at-bats so far have resulted in a full count walk to put a pair of runners on and nobody out.
Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, third baseman number 2, Ryan Dodson.
So now Ryan Dotson, the third baseman, will step up to the plate. Struck out, walked, and hit an RBI ground out. We'll see Kirk Schreider make his way to the mound. Not sure if we'll get a pitching change just yet, but not what he wanted to see from Burkhart to start his outing.
It's Sammy Funk warming up right now in the Bucs bullpen. But Schreider right now with a hand on Cade Burkhart's shoulder. Just telling him there's nothing to really worry about. Just got to get the outs that he needs in this inning. The offense has seemed to find a bit of a rhythm, putting up 6 runs in the most recent inning. So if he can just do as little damage as possible, hoping that the bats can pull through.
So after the mound visit, it'll be Ryan Dotson, who is yet to record a hit so far. I can't remember the last time that there were more combined runs than combined hits, but that's where we're at right now. 13 combined runs, 11 combined hits so far in this game. Pilots ahead in both by just 1. Here comes the 0-1 to Dotson. It's fouled right into the dugout of the Glacier Pilots, so there's netting right in front, so everyone is okay. For the first time today, Burkhart is ahead in the count with no balls and 2 strikes. O2 just misses outside for ball 1. Couldn't get him a chase on the slider.
Just needs to stick with what's been working. Has those 2 strikes and a little bit of room to work with, but would be really great to go ahead and get the strikeout.
1-2 is fouled back and out of play. Dotson just protecting the zone and staying alive in the at-bat. Try to force a grounder and a double play if not a strikeout. Still looking for that swing and miss. Almost gets it on that one, but it's foul tipped just barely out of the glove of Denton to stay alive.
Just a couple inches down, and that's strike 3. Ryan Dotson, another guy with pretty low batting stats, 203 average and a 222 on base percentage. Only has 1 walk this season.
Faces a 1-2 count here. Hits it right back up the middle to Burkhart, who throws it in the dirt. It's fielded cleanly by Finn Leach, who moved over to shortstop just enough for them to get the first out, but that was almost disaster. So Dotson reaches on a fielder's choice. Strong advances to third, and Weeks is out on the 1-6 fielder's choice. So runners at the corners with 1 gone for Jack Karen.
Yeah, if Leach wasn't able to hold on to that, it was going to be bases loaded with nobody gone. Luckily able to hold on. That's just not a throw that I think pitchers practice a whole lot, which we've seen several of them today where it goes straight back to the pitcher and they have to make the throw to second. They just get so accustomed to making the throw off the mound that the throwing motion's a little bit off, especially with a moving target.
Burkhart finally able to get a swing and miss from Karen. That'll even the count up at 1 apiece. He's reached base safely all 3 times with a pair of walks, as well as a fielder's choice, but he's down in the count 1-2 now after back-to-back strikes from Burkhart. Trying to get a crucial out number 2. Misses with the fastball. Count moves to 2-2. So the defensive substitutions that were made with all the pinch hitters, Ryan Dara, who's moved to center field, Drew Raymond is in right, Andrew Sheffield moved over to second base with Hayden Miller at third, and then Finn Leach over at shortstop. 2-2 is lined just out of the glove of Sheffield and into right field. It'll score a run as Dotson delivers with an RBI single, and Sheffield has the day for him defensively has just been a nightmare.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough grab to make, but went right into his glove and just popped out. It's just once the one error comes in, then just several more little mistakes follow it.
So the lineup goes back to the top for the 5th time today for Henry Verhamy, who takes ball 1 upstairs. That fastball moves inside for ball 2. Verhamy is 0 for 4, but he has reached base safely on a pair of errors from Sheffield, as well as a couple of grounders right back to the pitcher. One was a double play, one was just a regular ground out. Hits one up the middle, but this will get into center field. Coming around third is Dotson. Dara won't have a throw. And back-to-back RBI singles bring the lead back up to 3 as the Pilots lead 9-6.
Now batting, Anchorage Bucs. Second baseman number 21, Zach.
So Verhamy with his first hit of the game. This one's an RBI. And it looks like that'll be it for Burkhart, who's not able to go a full inning. He's only able to get 1 out.
Really unfortunate, too, considering not all of it was necessarily on him. A couple of bad plays in the field that resulted in runs, but just had a few batters where he couldn't quite get the outs he needed to make, and that brings in Sammy Funk.
So we'll step aside while Funk warms up. The Bucs down 9-6, trying to keep it that way with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 7th.
New pitch on the mound for our Anchorage Bucs. From LA Harbor College, number 21, Sammy Funk. It's the ball down to the Pepsi bullpen.
So it'll be Sammy Funk on the mound. Zach Hefner takes the first pitch he sees, listed into foul territory. Hayden Miller makes the grab. So the first pitch that Funk throws is a foul out and a much needed out number 2.
For the Pilots, center fielder number 14, Cooper Kunis.
Now Cooper Kunis will step up to the plate. He hit a single his last time up. That was just in the 6th inning. He's also had a walk and reached on a fielder's choice, trying to keep this inning alive with 2 gone. Funk's first offering to him is a fastball that is upstairs for ball 1. Funk is making his 6th appearance, though he's only thrown 3 1/3 innings. His ERA is jumped up to 10. His last outing on July 15th, he threw just 1/3 of an inning. Came in relief after inning started to get away and was able to just get the one out to end the inning, but came in a losing effort against the Chinooks, trying to avoid the same result here. Another pitch, that one inside for ball 2.
Also only has 2 strikeouts this season on those 3 innings. So likely that gonna have to get Kunis out on contact, which is pretty scary considering how good of a hitter Kunis is.
Also has a 2-1 hitters count. He chops that one over to second base. Sheffield just tags out Henry Verhamy, doesn't even risk the throw, and strands the runners on base. So the Glacier Pilots respond with 2 runs to add to their lead a little bit more as they're up by 3, and we'll have a new pitcher on the mound for the Pilots when we come back.
To the ball game. Are you ready? On 1, on 2, and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and drink your text. I don't care if I ever get sweet. Rooting for the Bucs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. Hey, that's the last one. one I gotta do all year. Thanks you for all joining me this year. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun doing that. Let's get some runs, Bucks. New pitcher on the mound for the Pilots. Number 28, Gavin Park. Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs. Second baseman, number 18, Finn Leach.
Gavin Parch now on the mound for the Pilots. You've seen the Bucks before, though it was in the exhibition game on the 4th of July where he gave up 4 runs in 2 innings. Coming off of just 1 day of rest, he threw an inning in relief yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. That Pilots came away with a 2-1 victory as his first pitch to Finn Leach is inside for ball 1.
Yeah, and we just found out that the Pilots only have 8 pitchers left in their bullpen after so many have departed. And they have used 3 today, so, and like you just
4
mentioned,
yesterday.
4 in the doubleheader yesterday, so they are really down to their final guys.
Bucks trying to take advantage of that. Leach ahead in the count with 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch just grabs the outer part of the plate for strike 1.
Got to give credit, though, to the guys who, even on a pretty disappointing season, I guess you could say, for the Pilots, I mean, the guys who have stuck around and continued to play, and they're on a 3-game win streak, currently leading this game by 3 runs, so it's hard to say they've gotten any worse with some of those guys leaving.
Yeah, and even with all that they've gone through, they've scored 7 or more runs 2 out of their last 3 games, up to 9 today. So 3 out of their last 4 games, they've had quite the offensive performance. And they had that 2-1 win over the Oilers in their first game of the doubleheader. Leach hits that one up the middle. Hefner almost gets to it, but it just drops out of his glove. Would have been a tough play, but either way, Leach reaches aboard safely. So the scoring is an infield hit for Leach. His first hit of the game after he was hit by a pitch just an inning ago. That'll bring up Hank Smith, who drew a walk and then also came around to score the second run of the 6th inning. After that 3-run triple from Ty Denton. Takes the first pitch right down Main Street for strike 1. Bucks trying to chip away at the Pilots' lead once again. They got it down to 1 after the 6th inning. It's gotten back to 3 as that one's hit sharply over towards first. The throw hits Leach in the helmet. He's going to get over to third base. And the Pilots try to turn 2, but Strong threw it right into Finn Leach, and it just bounced off of his helmet. Wasn't anything he could do there.
Had a tough angle, came up, and was directly in the runner's base path. And don't see that happen too often, but it helps out the Bucks a little bit and brings up Ty Denton.
So they'll score it as an E3 for Finn Leach getting to third and Hank Smith reaching on the fielder's choice. And there's 2 runners aboard with nobody out for Ty Denton, who came up big with his 3-run triple. Just an inning ago, he takes ball 1 inside. His hot bat continues to be set ablaze. steps in as the tying run right now. Off-speed pitch that he just sits on, and it winds up in the strike zone to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Leach over at third, Smith at first. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Denton swings and misses at that one. It bounces in front of Cortinas, but not far enough for Leach to think about stealing home. Smith also stays put at first. So now a 1-2 count to Denton, who is 1 for 2 on the day with his triple, a walk, and a fly out to center field. Lays off of that pitch down low to even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A great eye from Denton.
And with runners at the corners, I'm surprised we haven't seen Hank Smith try to go. He doesn't have a stolen base this season, but I mean, they've done it to the Bucs so many times already this game. Figure it might give them a taste of their own medicine.
Doesn't go on that pitch, which winds up outside for ball 3. So the count runs full to Denton. Could see Smith maybe go on this pitch. He will on this pitch. It's lifted high into foul territory. Strong going over. And he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Denton not able to come up big again as he fouls that one into the glove of Logan Strong for out number 1. So it'll be Ryan Dara, who had an RBI single in the 6th inning and then stole second base. Later came around to score. Able to lay off of that one. Lines up down low for ball 1.
And the good thing, well, one of the good things, I guess, about having your guy who just had a 3 RBI triple fly out is that now you bring up the guy who just had an RBI single and 2 stolen bases. So there is plenty of offense available in these Bucs bats, and with only 1 out, it would be really keen of them to put a few more runs on the board. And right now have a chance to tie the game up.
So 1-0 count to Dara. Swings and misses at that pitch for strike 1. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bunt attempt from Dara either, if Leach is able to get a big enough jump. Both corner infielders aren't necessarily playing super close in. Dara might be able to catch him by surprise if he lays it down well enough. We'll wait to get the signal from his dugout. See what they want him to do in this at-bat. So 1-1 count with runners at the corners and 1 gone. Smith goes on the pitch. They will throw over to second. They don't get him. The throw to home is not in time. And Finn Leach steals home. Hank Smith didn't get tagged. So he gets a stolen base, and the Bucs execute it perfectly.
That's exactly what I was just saying a minute ago, not to, Anyway, worked out to perfection as Hank Smith definitely would have been out at second. He was just a little bit behind, and it was a good throw from Cortinas, but both things end up working out for the Bucs.
So they get a run and also advance Hank Smith into scoring position. Dara swings and misses for strike 2. And we see exactly why Denton didn't throw over to second when the Pilots pulled that off. Leach, not necessarily known for his speed, doesn't have a ton of stolen bases this summer, but is just fast enough on that stolen base attempt to barely beat the tag. And now Ryan Dara has run the count full with one gone and a runner on second. Serves as the tying run at the plate. Doesn't have a whole lot of home run power. He has an inside the park home run. Payoff pitch to him is outside for ball 4. And Dara draws the 1-out walk to put another runner on.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs, designated hitter number 33, Taylor Tracy.
So it'll be Taylor Tracy now with 2 on and 1 gone. Still looking for his first hit of the day. He reached on an error, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. Also has a pair of flyouts. Lays off of that pitch that winds up upstairs for ball 1.
And scoring 16 runs certainly makes this a long ball game, as usually by about this time we're in the 8th or 9th inning. But still sitting in the bottom of the 7th. But we're due for plenty of baseball after 6 days off, I feel like.
Exactly. That pitch gets away from Parch. And Smith and Dara will each take their base with ease. So not only do the runners advance to scoring position, now a double play ball is much harder to obtain with nobody on first base.
And this is where only having 8 pitchers on your staff really becomes a problem, as you don't really feel like you can comfortably pull Parch. You've already used 2 other pitchers in the game today, used 4 yesterday, and you still have 2 2/3 innings to get through.
Tracy hit someone over to third, but it bounced foul first. So it's instead strike 1. And this is their 7th of 8 pitchers that they've used in the last 24 hours. So like you said, unless they decide to throw the 8th pitcher this game, Parch will likely have to go the rest of the game. After Rafferty gave up 6 runs in 1 inning, they didn't feel confident putting him out there. 2-1 just misses down low for ball 3.
And you got to figure someone has to start tomorrow.
Someone's got to start tomorrow.
I mean,
They do play tomorrow, correct?
Oh, they have a doubleheader tomorrow. And then a doubleheader the next day.
They might have to throw some position players out there at this point.
Oh, is this true? I'm seeing... Well, hang on. We'll talk about that in a second.
So it's a foul ball, another very close foul ball, but yeah, we just saw something on their schedule that is not on our schedule that pertains to both of these teams.
Well, so we heard from the Glacier Pilots announcer that there's a chance we would make up the Mayor's Cup games on Sunday with a doubleheader. Right now it has the games listed at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Which, I mean, a little coffee in the Bucs.
And especially if, like usual, the Bucs have to get here 3 hours ahead of first pitch to warm up. They, I don't know if a 5 a.m. wake-up call is the best thing, but the payoff pitch is outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 gone.
Cortinas has really had to put in some work behind the plate. There have been several pitches in just that at-bat where he had to basically fall out of his stance to keep that ball from heading towards the backstop and giving up more runs.
We'll get a mound visit from the Pilots pitching coach, and the Pilots bullpen is empty. They have nobody warming up. I don't think they have anybody available. It's like you said, somebody has to start tomorrow.
I guess 2 people have to start tomorrow if they have a doubleheader. I mean, unless they get a position player in there. It's possible.
And at this rate, it might be.
It's honestly likely, I feel like.
There's a very good chance if we indeed have a doubleheader on Sunday that we will see a position player on the mound. I can't believe that it's an 8 o'clock first pitch. That's
That can't
baffling
be that
to
can't
me.
be right. That has to be a misinput. There's no way. I mean, there's a way, I guess, but
There's
it seems
technically
unlikely.
there's a way, but yeah, we will definitely clarify that to make sure that we get the correct information. So Luke McLeod is up with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the first pitch to him is down in the turf for ball 1. Corner infielders are playing closely in case McLeod tries to lay down a bunt. Lays off with a 1-0 that winds up down and away for ball 2. Able to find the strike zone on that one. Cloud now with a 2-1 hitters count. Bases loaded with 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th. McLeod now with a 3-1 count and Parch in danger of walking home a run. Has run out of places to put McLeod and needs to deliver a strike here, which he does, but it's popped into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Hank Smith will score. Dara is in safely at third, and McLeod has an RBI single to pull the Bucs within 1.
It was a tough read as it looked like the ball might have had a few more feet under it to reach the left fielder Haruki, but just sort of died out there once it got past the turf and over the grass part. And since it looked like Haruki might have been able to make the grab, both Dara and Smith had to hold up, but the Bucs able to get the run.
Now it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Taylor Tracy. It'll be A.J. Garcia over at second base. And most of his appearances in the last couple of weeks have come in these type of scenarios.
Yeah, and he's representing the go-ahead run at second base, so they really want any ball that can be put into the outfield to go ahead and score the run. Obviously, they have 2 more innings to work with, but with how well the Pilots offense has also been playing, why wait?
So it'll be Andrew Sheffield now. He's 1 for 3, has a single. Likely see A.J. Garcia in left field. But with Tracy as the DH, there's also a good chance that Garcia just slides into that DH position. Now a 1-1 count to Sheffield with 1 gone and the bases loaded. Bucs trailing by just 1. As another pitch almost gets away. Cortinas able to hold on to it though. Base hit into the outfield. Has a chance to put the Bucs ahead. Sheffield does just that. Being waved home is Garcia. The throw is not in time. And in the last 2 innings, the Bucs have put up 10 runs to come all the way back and take the lead off of the bat of Andrew Sheffield, who delivers.
And good for Andrew Sheffield. Obviously has had a tough day in the field with 3 errors, but also has 2 hits now in the game, including this 2 RBI double that puts the Bucs in the lead.
Third baseman number 20, Aiden Miller.
It was certainly a bit of a risky send, I felt like, as it didn't get past Haruki, who was in about midway back in the outfield, but ended up being a good call from Coach Maselli at third base.
It's exactly the reason they put Garcia, as they knew he had the speed to compete with the arm of Haruki. If it's Tracy over there, they likely hold him up at third. But the speedy Garcia is able to dive across home plate. Sheffield puts the Bucs in front, and they still have runners at second and third with nobody out for Hayden Miller, who had a 2-run single just an inning ago.
That foul ball brought to you by tonight's game sponsor, Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
So now 1-1 count to Miller, who came in for Camden Landfear just an inning ago and already has 2 plate appearances. Fouls another one back and out of play for strike 2.
And that foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
Here comes the 1-2 from Parch. Just low for ball 2. Miller able to lay off of that one.
The Bucs are just one batter away from batting around the order for the second straight inning. They've put up a 4 spot so far in the bottom of the 7th.
2-2, called strike 3 on the outer part of the plate, and Miller goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Drew Raymond, who is the only Buck to not have a plate appearance so far in this inning. He now has 3 in the last 2 after he was the only Buck to have 2 plate appearances in the 6th. So the Bucs jump ahead 10-9, still with an opportunity to add to that lead with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch to Raymond is down in the turf, but Cortinas is able to block that one and keep it in front of him. He's had his work cut out for him in this inning. Wano is lifted high and deep into left field. Haruki going back on it, and he's going to watch it go over the fence. Andrew Raymond with an Oppo Taco home run. And back-to-back 6 spots in the 6th and 7th inning for the Bucs, as they jump out to a humongous 13-9 lead.
I think that might be the first opposite field home run that the Bucs have hit this season. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you may be correct. Finn Leach hits the first pitch he sees, but it's right over to Zach Kiefner, who makes the throw over to first in time. But the Bucs have combined for 13 runs in the last 2 innings, excuse me. And this job for Sammy Funk becomes a lot easier now with a 4-run cushion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got some great sponsors. Alaska Towing and Wrecking, Club Parents, Moses Tooth, The Lucky Wishbone, and Alaska Brewing Company, all proud supporters of our Anchorage Bucs. Now batting for the Glacier Pilots, number 23, left fielder Jake Baruki.
It'll be Jake Haruki to lead things off in the top of the 8th. The Glacier Pilots, for the first time today, trail. Sammy Funk still in there, delivers ball 1 to Haruki, who had a 2-run double back in the 6th when the Pilots were still in full control, but the Bucs have stormed back, putting up 13 runs in the last 2 innings.
This looks a lot more like a football score, 13-9. But like you also mentioned off camera, still more runs than hits in the game.
Bucs still can't take their foot off the gas pedal, though, as it's just a 4-run game. We've seen, specifically from the Bucs, insane things in just one frame, as Funk delivers a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here in the 8th inning.
Now batting
The Pilots have scored in 3 straight innings, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. Would love to see, after the Bucs take a lead, them go scoreless here in the 8th.
So now Nick Cortina steps up to the plate. He takes ball 1 outside. Funk still looking for his first strike of this inning. Was able to get 2 crucial outs in as many plate appearances to end the 7th.
Looks like Andrew Haberman is warming up in the Bucs bullpen, though I don't think this will be pulling Funk, just calming him down a little bit. Has delivered 5 straight balls in the 8th inning.
We've seen Haberman go multiple innings before, though I'm sure they would love to try to save him for the 9th. He is basically off of a week of rest, which is probably the longest amount of time he's had between games this summer. It's exactly what the Bucs want from their closer, someone who's well rested and can take them the distance. Cortinas turns on one and hits it far, but was just a bit early in front of it. It'll wind up foul for strike 1. So 1-1 count with nobody gone. Haruki, the leadoff man, on first after a 4-pitch walk. Funk trying to hold on to the Bucs' 4-run lead. There was another fastball upstairs for ball 2. Two one outside for ball 3. Three one from Funk is popped high and back into foul territory. Denton coming under it and will make the catch for out number 1. That one was popped a mile high. Denton, though, able to reel it in.
Now batting for the Pilots, first baseman number 20.
Funk has now gotten a full inning of outs as he came in with just 1 out in the 7th inning. Hopefully he can continue to stay calm and attack the strike zone. Facing a guy who does have 2 hits today.
It'll be Logan Strong, who has an RBI single, a double, and also a walk. He came around to score on 2 of those. Has a 1-0 count with 1 gone, and Haruki standing over at first. That one comes in, almost hits him, but he's able to turn out of the way for ball number 2. The Pilots have scored in more innings than they haven't. They've scored in 4. They've been held off in 3. That pitch lands inside, and near the head of Strong. He has to duck out of the way. Now facing a 3-0 count. Fastball outside for ball. I think that's ball 4. Not sure.
I think they called a balk.
I think you're right. I don't think it mattered, though. But yeah, they will call a balk, and Haruki gets a free second base. So the count remains 3-0 to Strong. We'll see if the balk makes much of a difference. It does not. He delivers ball 4, and now there's 2 on with only 1 out.
Wouldn't be surprised if they come in and get Haberman pretty soon here. Would be awesome if Funk could make contact, get the double play. We could head to the bottom of the 8th with the lead.
Gets contact, but it's Davis Weeks who sends one deep into left field, and it's off the wall. Coming around to score is Haruki. He'll actually stay at third base. A great throw from McLeod to get it in quickly. As it looks more like that one might have been a home run, but it just stays in the park. But it loads the bases with 1 out and brings the tying run up to the plate.
Yeah, I truly thought that went over the fence. And then saw Luke McLeod pick something up, and I was like, oh, okay. But either way, a really far hit ball from Davis Weeks, his first of the game.
It's the benefits of having a pitcher in left field. McLeod is one of the strongest arms in that outfield. Raymond as well in right field. We've seen him throw out a couple runners trying to tag up for a home. Dara having the toughest job in most ground to cover in center. We'll have a small mound visit just between Denton and Funk. Denton hoping he can calm down Funk and maybe also buy some time for Haberman to continue warming up in case Funk's not able to get out of the inning. It'll be Ryan Dodson, who still does not have a hit. His first plate appearance, he had an RBI ground out. He walked, his struck out looking, and also reached on a fielder's choice that he came around to score on. And it looks like now Kirk Schreider will come out. And that will be it for Funk. Able to go a full inning, but not able to get himself out of the bases loaded jam. It'll be up to Andrew Haberman if he's up to do that. So Funk leaves, the bases loaded. Haberman will come in to try and keep the Pilots off of the scoreboard for the first time since the 4th inning. Funk's still staying on the mound. I'm not sure why he hasn't left the game yet. I guess he wants to personally hand the ball off to Haberman.
Yes, he does.
And that he will. So it'll be Haberman on the mound. Funk leaves the game with an inning pitched, 2 walks, a hit. For now, no runs given up, but he is responsible for all 3 base runners. Haberman has been the closer for this team ever since he came over from Santa Clara, trying to get another save. Oh, he's not in a save situation just yet. The Bucs have the 4-run lead. And unless he's not able to keep the Pilots off the scoreboard, it'll stay that way.
He comes into today with a 1.98 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss, and 3 games saved in 13 2/3 innings pitched. He has a .95 whip. He went a long time without ever giving up a run, and then eventually did so on July 15th. Gave up 2 earned runs against the Chinooks, and then another earned run on the 18th to this very team, the Glacier Pilots. But that is now several, I guess 6 days of rest for the closer.
Anchorage Bucs, number 32.
It's definitely more than he's been accustomed to this summer, so we'll see if he's able to take advantage of it. So first batter up to face Haberman will be Ryan Dodson, the third baseman. Swings and misses at the first offering for strike one. On one count with the bases juiced and only one out. The corner infielders are in close. Lines one into center field, and Dar's able to make the grab. The runner will tag up from third. The throw will not be in time. So an RBI sac fly for Dodson brings the Pilots to double-digit scoring. They now trail 13-10.
We are over the 3-hour mark now. Still with at least an inning to go.
Now batting for the Pilots. Right fielder number
That is what scoring 23 runs in a game will do. Now it really looks like a football score, 13-10.
So it'll be Jack Karen next up with runners at first and second and 2 gone. Fastball from Haberman just below the zone. Karen able to lay off of it for ball 1. Karen has 2 walks and an RBI single. He's also reached on a fielder's choice, so he's been aboard safely all 4 plate appearances thus far. Now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Haberman trying to keep this a 3-run game after getting Dodson to line out to straightaway center field. 2-0 swung on and missed. Much needed strike 1.
Haberman does not get a lot of strikeouts. He will tell you that himself. He currently averages about 5.3 per 9 innings.
Gets a swing and miss there. 1 strike away for his first punch out. Trying to strand 2 runners on the base pass and keep the Bucs at a 3-run lead. Still with another chance to add to that in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Haberman does just that. And the Bucs maintain their 3-run lead. We'll see if they're able to add on to it when we come back. The Bucs ahead 13-10.
Ladies and gentlemen, some more of our fine sponsors. We want to recognize King Street Brewing, RNDC, Architectural Supply Company, Pepsi of Alaska, and the Packaging Store. All proud supporters of our Anchorage Bucs. New pitch on the mound for the Glacier Pilots. Number 3, Linton Martin. Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs, First baseman number 6, Pete Smith.
New pitcher on the mound is Landon Martindale. His position is a catcher on the Glacier Pilots website, but his first pitch is a pretty good one. It definitely had some speed on it to Hank Smith, but it's upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, this is his debut on the mound. He currently has a 0 ERA, though, so nothing to turn your head to.
This is true. His first 2 pitches to Hank Smith are out of the zone for a 2-0 count. Smith reached safely on the fielder's choice and came around to score in the 7th inning. And now 3 straight balls from Martindale to Smith.
Hey, sometimes these position players can be hard to hit against. They obviously have a unique delivery and much slower than what the batters are used to.
For the time being, though, he delivers a 4-pitch walk to Hank Smith, so
And then sometimes that happens.
it's kind of a 50-50. You see it a lot in the majors. The position guys will throw in blowouts, but they're throwing 40 miles an hour.
This is only a 3-run game. I mean, it's still up for grabs.
100%. Bucks are trying to extend their lead a little bit to breathe a little easier. So far, they haven't had to swing at a pitch just yet. Now throw back over to first to make sure Smith doesn't get too far off the bag. He's able to dive back in time.
I mean, if I didn't know that he was a catcher and I had no sheet to look at, I probably wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
They're going to call a balk on him there, and Smith is awarded second base. So a 1-0 count, Smith at second, Denton up to the plate, trying to bring home another run. 1-0 outside for ball 2. So 2-0 count to Ty Denton, who had that 3-run triple back in the 6th inning that really started this big explosion of offense that the Bucks have had these last 2 innings. Now has a 3-0 count. Martindale still trying to deliver his first strike of the game. Pitches outside for ball 4, and it's 8 pitches and 2 walks. Bucks have a pair of runners on, still with nobody out.
Certainly puts into perspective how hard it is to pitch. I mean, even a guy who plays baseball, I'm not sure if in Martindale's past, maybe in high school, he was a pitcher ever, but it's even hard to find the strike zone. Finally does there.
There you go. There was a first pitch strike to Ryan Dara, who also walked back in the 7th inning and came around to score. Fastball from Martindale. I'm sure every pitch has been a fastball so far. Now
It'd be awesome.
Count to Dara.
It'd be awesome if he pulled out just the nastiest slider.
Dara slaps that one into the left center field gap. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Smith will score, as will Denton. And Ryan Dara is in there with a 2-run double. The Bucks offense continues to be put on display as Dara delivers a 2-run double.
Well, the Bucks, I mean, I don't want to say anything too early, but with a position player out there on the mound, they haven't gotten an out yet. The Bucks do need 5 runs before we start talking about a run rule. But does it still count even if you're past the 7th inning? That I don't know.
I think it does. I think it's any point after 7 innings, so we
Okay.
could technically see a walk-off. I remember.
Any point. We don't
any
have
point
to give
after
them.
7 innings,
Okay,
because we are the home team. It's
that's true.
almost like hitting a walk-off. I saw it happen in the NCAA tournament for softball. So that one's popped up by AJ Garcia, but will wind up out of play. The Texas A&M was run ruled by Arizona State in the regional round, where ASU hit a walk-off grand slam to beat them by
Wow.
10 runs in, I want to say, the 6th inning, but because they only play
Shoot.
7 innings, it's the 5th inning and after. So, assuming that the ABL adheres to NCAA rules, because these are college players,
Right.
then I guess we'll have to wait and see too. This is all completely hypothetical
is
until it happens.
New territory for us. We obviously have seen the Bucs get run ruled.
They were close to doing some run ruling of their own.
True.
Garcia lines one sharply. It almost hits his first base coach, but he's able to step back very quickly and nonchalantly, I'll put it at that.
Way to go, Coach Mo.
So the count remains 1-2. Martindale be something if he's able to get a strikeout, which he does. And I think AJ Garcia might hear it from his teammates as he gets back to the dugout on that.
Now batting for our Anchorage Bucs. Number 27.
Reminds me when Anthony Rizzo struck
I
out
was
Freddie
thinking
Freeman.
the exact same thing. Wonder if Martindale will ask to save that ball. So now Luke McLeod steps up, takes ball one upstairs. I also think of, as much as I hate the Dodgers, Miguel Rojas impersonating his entire pitching staff in their windups was pretty funny. As McLeod hits one a mile high into the infield. Shortstop Henry Verhamy able to launch it all the way through into his glove, and a very quick 2 outs for Landon Martindale. So after the first 3 batters had no problem, back-to-back outs for the Bucs bring up Andrew Sheffield with Dar on second and 2 gone. First pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Martindale has found the strike zone a lot easier these last couple of batters compared to when he first got out there.
Yeah, I don't know what his pitching coach told him during that mound visit, but he has done exceptionally well the past since then.
Sheffield pops one into shallow left field. It's going to get down for a hit. There were 3 pilots all crowded around it, and none of them could call off one another. So Sheffield with another RBI double. This one brings home Dara from second, and the Pilots now down 10-16. Bucs trying to continue to add a cushion to their lead.
That's really tough for this whole Pilots team. You felt like you had it right there. A shallow fly out, just going over the head of all 3 of your players.
Miller hits the first one sharply over to third base, where Ryan Dotson throws across the diamond in time for out number 3. So the Bucs get 3 runs off of 2 hits, leave 1 aboard, as they lead by 6 heading into the top of the 9th, where Haberman trying to shut the door when we come back.
Special sponsors, particularly beginning with tonight's game sponsor. Let's hear it for Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you, those folks for their support here. Also, one of our valuable sponsors, Alaska Restaurant Supply. Our stolen base sponsor, Safe and Sound. Our home run sponsors, Little Caesars Pizza. And that pitching change call goes down to the Pepsi bullpen. Some more of our folks who make things happen. We want to thank our Team Health Club, Alaska Club, our Team Car Care Center, Alaska Springs and Performance, and Alaska Towing and Wrecking, and our athletic trainer, Lynn Young, and the support of Orthopedic Physicians of Alaska for their continued support of us athletics across the state of Alaska. For the Glacier Pilots, number 32, shortstop.
Haberman back on the mound trying to finish the job. He'll have the top of the order due up for the Pilots as they trail 16-10. Henry Verhamy, who had an RBI single back in the 7th inning, steps up to the plate for the 6th time today.
Yeah. Quite a bit of plate appearances, has reached on 2 errors, grounded into a double play, grounded right back to the pitcher, and an RBI single. So he's done a little bit of everything.
If there's any day that hurts pitchers' ERA and it gives batters all the chances in the world, it's today. Not sure what the rest of the league has looked like this season, but this is definitely in the running for the highest scoring game. Verhamy fouls that one out of play to stay alive in the count at a ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 count to the leadoff man, Verhamy. Lifts that one into left field. McLeod going back on it. He did not expect the ball to travel that far, and it gets behind him. And Verhamy reaches aboard with a leadoff double.
The sun must be really bad out there because we've seen several drops out in left field from both Haruki and McLeod, and even the shortstop Verhamy for the Pilots, who dropped a ball in the last inning out there. It's just been a tough day out and left.
So it'll bring up Zach Kiefner as he takes ball 1 low and outside. He also has an RBI single as well as a walk and 2 strikeouts. That next offering just lands outside for ball 2. Haberman, although he isn't in line to get the save right now, would love to try to keep this game the way it is it's chopped over to shortstop where Finn Leach is at. He makes the throw over to first in time for out number 1. So 1 gone for Cooper Kunis, as well as a runner in scoring position with Verhamy. Kunis 1 for 5 with a single and a walk. 1 for 4, I should say. Oh, 1 is hit right back to Haberman, who throws over to third. And a Hayden Miller lays the tag for out number 2.
Good job by Haberman to recognize that Verhamy was fully committed heading over to third. When he looked over to second base, realized there wasn't a double play ball there. Makes the throw over to Miller and gets the tag.
So now 2 gone for Jake Haruki, who has 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a double. A 2-run double at that, so a lot of 2s in his stat line. Fouls off the first pitch he sees for strike 1. Glacier Pilots down to their final out with Cooper Kunis at first and them trailing by 6. Here comes the 0-1 from Haberman, swung on and missed for strike 2. Haruki down to his last strike. The 0-2 from Haberman, swung on and missed for strike 3. And the Bucs come all the way back from down 7-0 as they score 16 runs in the final 3 frames to pull off the 16-10 win in an offensive onslaught from both sides.
Yeah, you and I were both a little ready to phone it in, down 7-0 going into the 6th inning. It felt like the Bucs just could not get a break, had a tough time in the field, had a tough time at the plate. But they were able to come back, their biggest comeback of the season. And they are feeling confident as we enter the final stretch of games in this season.
So Sammy Funk gets the win. Parch is tagged with the loss after giving up 7 runs in the 7th inning.
This is our final home game.
And for all we know, we could be playing 4 games in the next 48 hours with a doubleheader tomorrow at the Matsu Miners before coming back here and, as the schedule stands, playing a doubleheader at 8 and 10 a.m. against the Pilots, but we'll see about that. For the time being, though, after a 6-day hiatus, we came back and the Bucs pulled through. They get the win 16-10. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Drive home safe. My name's Norma Shard, and remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay
Yeah,
here.
hella viewers on
Good
that.
night.
Let's go.